All right, welcome back to a series of Wonders event. Uh, this is like the starting of season two. Our adventure starts at a whole new, different place. So I'm your humble DM, Robin, and joining us today by Homura, uh, Kenzie, play as the dwarf cleric Homura, and Stefan, play as Riveni, the human sorcerer variant. Uh, Alex play as Suit, our Tabaxi warlock, and Nathan play as Viking, our Asmire paladin, and Kat playing Tully as our wood elf rogue. So, previously, the adventurers kind of went through a lot. They delivered the book as promised to the Lord Neverember of the Neverwinter, and they discussed the severe issue about how the Cult of Dragons reemerge, and then they went on to like take back what was stolen from them. Had a little bit of a dogfight, and yeah, ship sails. No one's getting hurt, and yeah, they kind of managed that smoothly. And well, they all went back to tavern, had a bit of rest, and then they go to the party. At the party, they enjoyed feast. Well, not everyone, but some enjoyed the feast, enjoyed the fun, and play a little bit of like battle royale kind of style in combat called Clash of Thunderdome, and they won. They defeated the Fabulous Four and four giants. Well, not lethally, but hey, it's a contest, and you guys win. So, as you guys came out of the like Castle Mulligan, you were ambushed by Drows, which only I guess, which only Hamura and Tali saw. The others have absolutely no idea. They just face planted into sleep. All right, so currently,
Then we got by Drow.
yes. Well, Riveni, Suits, and Viking, you guys don't know because you just feel
Yeah.
a
We're
sudden urge.
We're just
of
having a
sleeping.
dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So
Lovely dream
I'm
of
gonna
wizards
start.
and
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah. True.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right. I'm gonna start with the camera like order. So I'm gonna start with Hamura. Hamura, you partially, this is all just a dream. As you like plunged into a world like everything seems purple, like either glowing in a purple light or covered in a purple hue or halo. As you faceplant yourself from the sky down to earth, you don't feel any pain. You kind of dust yourself up and look around. In front of you, there's a forge, burning and hot, bright light. Several dwarves are working there, but their figures are faint, like as if they're not really there, like they're in between existence. And you feel this urge you felt before, in the wizard's room, as well as once you went through your trial. You feel this urge again. And
I mean, the urge is never let me wrong.
yeah,
before.
it's never gone, but this time is kind of off the place. Like, usually you just want to craft something. Like, it's kind of like a calling from the blood that kind of compels you into crafting some stuff, but this time it's different. It's more like a mixture with crafting as well as bashing someone's skull. Like, the urge is weird. And as you were trying to move towards the forge, you heard a voice on the back, like kind of sobbing. And you know it's a familiar voice because It's someone you used to heard from the past. It's your uncle. It's Gundren. What do you do?
I ignore the urge for now and go over to my uncle.
Okay. So as you turn around, the sound disappeared. You do see Gundren like phasing in and out of existence, but that's it. As you move forward to him, it all turns black. That will be it for Hamura, and now will be Ravini's turn. Ravini, you also face planted into the same world, but you don't see Hamura. You don't see anyone. Like all of you, you just individually seeing what's right in front of you. As for Ravini, in front of you is a burning, like, not a burn. It's kind of like a existence of chaos, like a core. It's kind of burning in grayish, weird flame. You can't really tell for sure. Like, you know, in your guts, it might have something to do with your bloodline, with your wild magic feature. And on your back, you smell roses. What would you like to do at this point?
Uh, well, I'm pretty much. I'm sort of just really confused right now when I sort of see all of this, and uh, uh, I think I'll try to. When I sort of smell like the roses, I try to see where the smell is coming from.
So do you walk towards the smell?
I think I'll walk towards it. Yeah.
Okay. As you walk towards the smell, you see not roses, but like a tombstone. And as you try to touch it, it's gone. Everything turns black. That'll be it for Riveni. Now it's Suits. Yeah. Suits, you also fly down, you also face planted. Everything's the same. However,
What?
yeah, you also don't see anyone. However, right in front of you is a small dark corner. There, in the corner, there's a book. It's tattered, it's rutted, it's like the most dirtiest thing you have ever seen before. And in the cover is actually your face. Or at least it's a Tabaxi's face. You can't really tell for sure, but that the carving is a face of your kind. And right behind you, you heard this like kind of sacred chanting. The sound you always hear when you celebrate the birth of Ogama. It's the ceremonial sound you always hear when you chant his name, praise his name, and send prayers to him. What would you like to do?
Start walking over to the sound, I guess.
Okay, you turn
Book in
around.
hand.
You see a bright library, like it's marble staircase, like the structure is just beyond beautiful. But there's something about this library that makes you feel a little bit cold. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll walk around the library, or at least find where the cold is coming from.
Okay. You approach the library, and everything turns black. All right. Now it will be Suit's turn. Now it's Nathan's. It's Vikings. Sorry, my bad. For Viking, as you walk, it's different for you. Like, cause it feels like you're walking in the desert. You think you traveled for days. You feel thirsty. You feel tired. But you feel like you have never been more alive. That is a weird sensation. And in front of you, as you travel across yet another sandhill, in front of you is a throne. There's a skeleton sitting on a throne with a crown on his head. The crown, there's 4 horns stitching out from the red, like from the circle bend, stitching out from it, forming a weird shape. The skeleton seems to be looking at you, but then for a second you realize it's just sitting there. And on your back, it suddenly turns into a gray mist. What would you like to do? Just
I need to
for
check
the
and see
record.
if I'm wearing pants.
Okay. Right. Just for the record, you do recognize the crown. It is, in fact, the crown of horns, which you have seen before. The skeleton, as you are checking your pants, the skeleton actually speaks. Come
do I
towards me. Come towards me.
Is this the same voice as I heard when I got knocked out or put down last time?
You can't tell for sure. That is weird. Like, you can't really tell for sure.
Okay. And the grayness on my back is
A mist. Like, it's just a fog, just covering everything.
okay. I can't tell if the voice was what I heard before. I'll cautiously approach.
As you move closer. Okay. You do notice the voice. It is, in fact, the voice you heard before. What would you like to do?
I already know that he wants me, so I'm not one to run though. That's the problem. Why did you bring me here?
The voice just keeps saying.
What did you do to my friends?
The voice just keeps saying, "Come to me. Just come to me." What would you like to do?
I don't think I can run him in a desert, so I'm gonna continue approaching.
Okay. As you approached him, the skeleton disappears, leaving only the crown. The throne as well gone as well, leaving only the crown in the sand. What would you like to do? The gray mist, as you turn back and look, it grows larger, stronger.
I'll pick it up.
Okay. As you as you put your hands, or at least you try to put your hands on the crown, it disappeared, and everything turns black. That will be it for you. Now it's Tolly's turn. Tolly, you were walking in the wind. That is a weird sensation. Like, you're not actually flying. Instead, you're walking. Right in front of you, like down below, is a burning cottage. The one, as you first saw it, the one that was your home. From way before. From the moment you can remember. It's the burning cottage. Behind you is a whirlwind. It just kind of flies there. It doesn't really do anything. It just appears out of nowhere. What would you like to do?
I rush to the cottage.
Okay. As you mad dash to the cottage disappears. You see the figure you once, like, in your subconscious, you immediately know that's your mother. That's her face. She's holding someone's hand. Someone you don't really recognize. His face is kind of blurred, but there's like features you can tell that he might be an elf. He might be. You're not fairly certain. He's actually I'll give you a little bit more detail. He's actually wearing a robe that has a symbol on it. The symbol you once saw on Viking's hand when he received the scroll of Baljento. Okay, do you approach?
Cautiously, my mother.
Okay. As you approach, she doesn't say anything. She just smiles at you and nods. And they both disappear. Everything turns black. And now everyone's turns over. You woke up simultaneously. Like, kind of waking up. You can't.
Oh my God, where's all the
Yes.
where's
You
the-
remember
hands.
vividly
Oh no.
of each of you's dream. And as you look
Hey.
around, you are captured by the drow. You wouldn't wish this fate upon anyone, yet here you are, locked in a dark cave, the cold, heavy weight of metal tight around your throat and wrists. You're not alone. You
Do I
found,
have my arm on?
actually, you
Do
do.
we-
Take my arm off.
You do.
Yeah,
Actually, you do.
Do we have any of our possessions still, or?
No, sadly, no. You don't
Okay,
have
yeah,
any
figured.
armor, any weapon. Anything is gone. For Tolly,
I'm gonna,
for
do,
Tolly.
do I see Viking?
You look around. You do see your friends. They're all here, and judging by their expression on the face, they probably had some bad dreams as well, or they just woke up. For Tolly,
Am I wearing pants?
you do. All of you are well dressed. It's just there's no armor, there's no weapon, there's none of your possession that's on you. Yes. Viking, you lost your pendant. You lost your holy symbol, actually. So yeah, there's that. Hamura, your arm, you can't make it work. It just hang in there. Yes, it just hang there. Now it's just a dead weight. You try to move your fingers, nothing works. For Tolly, you felt this faint sense of the joy you once felt when you were holding your weapon. It's now kind of like crying for help. It's a faint sound. It's a faint sensation. Kind of wants you back, but it can't. Then the connection is severed. Yeah. For now, you can't feel anything else.
I'm gonna look over at Viking. I'm like,
For
what
Sue,
kind of kinky shit did you get us into?
yeah.
I know it wasn't Valen who did this because I would be pantless if that was the case. We can roll one person off the list.
Okay.
Did anybody have a weird dream by any chance?
I didn't hear what you said.
I sort of look around and was like, did anyone have like a really weird dream by any chance?
Yeah, kind of. There was like a book. It had my face on it, but it might not have been my face. And there was a library and singing.
That's not quite what I dreamed, but okay then.
You
I was
asked.
in a desert. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was it. Go ahead, Viking.
I was in a
I'm just gonna
desert,
sit here and change.
and there was like throne with some skeleton. So not really weird. Just I had a dream. You know. Yeah, I had a dream.
Like how I'm just gonna say this out of character. I like how we're just having a conversation about dreams when we're all in chains and not where we were when we fell asleep.
Yeah.
We're just like chained up. I'm like,
not panicking. Definitely not.
Mhm.
eh.
Business as usual.
I mean, I got nothing I can do. I don't have my books.
I normally have
So-
to pay for this.
By the way, do I happen to feel like I'm a wizard now?
As your dream
Robin?
ends, you do notice that there's something different about yourself.
Guys, I think I'm a wizard. Okay, never mind.
Yes. But you for
Brad?
suits. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, congrats.
But for suits, you also feel the more distance are putting up between you and your patron. Between you and Ogma. It wasn't like that. It's always been like a steady connection. It's not like it's always free, like just call. However, you do
Mhm.
feel like the connection is weakened. Like it's probably the weakest point that ever happened in your life. As you look up to your campus, half of it is gone. Like the other half is seemingly fading in a slow rate. It's not completely gone. It's still there, but
Sorry.
all right.
I look
as you-
around and I
yeah.
say, "Holy crap, where's Core? I like that cat. What happened
I don't
to
know.
her?"
Let me think. And I'm gonna try and like think of Cora to see if like just mentally summon her.
You can't feel her presence. Like normally you can. You can't really tell
she's
if it's
dead.
because you were captured or is it because like even when she's dead, she's just sent back to astral plane. You can still feel
Yeah.
the connection between you two. But now, no. It's
Is
like
it-
a call with
would that be
statics.
because
With
of
heavy
my
statics.
because the power between me and Ogma is wavering
Uh,
potentially?
roll for insight to check if it's the case. Just to examine yourself, to see inside yourself, to see if that's the case. No, you don't think. You think the connection between you and Akma is just between you and your deity. But what's blocking you
Okay.
and Korra is something of like this plane of this realm. Maybe something's
somebody else's-
blocking. Yes, maybe the color.
Somebody else's power is
Yeah, maybe someone
or
else
something
casts a
is-
spell on you. You can't really tell.
well, the
Before
cat
we all
can't
got
come.
wiped. Saw a bunch of drow. I'm assuming they're responsible for all this garbage.
I thought we just blanked out.
Drow?
You mean the drow
Drow.
that's right there?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, at
So
least if
we
we
have
talk to
to
them, I know how to
drow?
speak their language.
Are we chained to the floor? Like, how are we chained? We
You're
stand up.
chained like prison style, like neck collar.
Oh, are we like chained to
yes.
each other?
No, you're not chained to each other. You're chained all by yourself.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so it's like leg irons to
Yes.
wrists and a chain, not to the wall.
No, not to the
Oh,
wall.
okay.
As you guys,
Do I know where my book is?
you get this feeling.
My grimoire.
No, but you get this feeling that whatever it's blocking you and Cora, it might have something to do with that.
I ask Talia, but why would Drow want to capture us? I don't think we didn't do anything to them.
Trafficking, slavery. I
Doesn't
mean, there's a
sound
whole
like
list
it.
of things that they do that are not entirely.
We have no shortage of enemies, and
Great.
we've already had one hit fail on us. Maybe this is a second crew.
And we also have like a potential drow that wants to just kill us. The black spider. Probably Gundren because we never saved him. Who
No,
else? We
yeah,
probably have the cult of the
Black Spider.
dragon, Venom Fang. We have a lot of enemies now that I think about it. Probably a random shop peddler that just like us. I don't know.
I bet you it was that little rat, because he wasn't happy last time we finished up with him.
Well,
He wanted
last time
more money or something, right?
No, he
no, last
won.
time I saw him, he was drunk and he won 500 gold
Yeah,
pieces.
you won 1,000
Oh, alright.
actually.
He won 1,000. Oh,
Yes.
Damn, we should have.
There's no way it could be Jerry. Jerry's nice.
Also, Jerry wouldn't traffic us.
Yeah, he couldn't.
We are
Even if
good-
he wished to.
He's literally a coyote, and he doesn't.
Okay, that's a fair point. Well,
I want to try to break the chains. I know it's frivolous, but
Roll. How would you like to break it? Before you roll anything, do you wish
is
to?
there anything in the room like chairs or even anywhere I can hook the
No.
like a wall sconce or anything like that?
The walls
Then
are
just-
just plain rocks. It's like you think this place has been like artificially crafted to be like a holding cell. You do, however, see a few pointy spot on the wall if you wish to try to, I don't know.
I want to
What would you
confer
like to
with
do? What would you like? to do?
Hamora and ask her, "Hey, Hamora, you think if I smack these hard enough, they'll break? Maybe
Ooh,
on
oh.
something in the room?"
oh, I can help you out with that. Can I?
I'm
Since
just
I'm
gonna
now
look
a
at him.
wizard, I feel like I have a feeling I have something I can do now. But I try and use
I wouldn't try
to make like
magic.
a little like point, like for him to like to
As you
smash it against.
as you try to move your hands, like as you try to do the oh wait, actually the component is only somatic. So
Yep.
as you wave your hands, try to do the like gesture, you feel the mana running through your body but dissipate the second it leaves your hand.
Well, shit. There's no magic here. I'm useless.
I could have told you that. My arm's not working.
Do we know if there's anybody actually watching us right now, or?
In fact, they are a bunch of
Oh.
besides you.
We're just having this conversation. There's people around us watching us.
Yes, besides
Yeah.
you are. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I'm gonna move you guys there. Well, it's about time.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Besides you are like 8
Oh,
of other prisoners. They're just like some of them are just minding themselves. Some of them are just like kind of doing something in the corner, but some of them are just looking at you. And you heard one of the guys saying, I bet you they are still gonna argue for the rest of an hour to figure out how to break out, and they couldn't. What do you say? About 20 gold piece. And this
And like,
Yeah,
what's going on with her magic?
yeah.
I feel like
It's like when I see that, when I
Mhm.
sort of realize that there's like a bunch of other people with us, I sort of try to just like awkwardly wave hello to them.
Okay.
Hey, you got other people here with us.
Oh,
So
shit.
Are they chained as well?
Yes.
Uh,
All of them are chained.
Took you guys a
Oh.
while.
Same way as you guys.
guess we're all in the same boat together, eh?
you imagine
I
as a
feel like-
cat, I
I
should
feel
be
like
more
this, like,
perceptive, but I
awkward
guess I'm
smile.
not.
I'm trying to be friendly, but it's
Yeah.
coming off as like more awkward.
Okay. Don't worry. The voice that originally setting up the bed came from a deep gnome. He looks just like any other deep gnome, like no distinct features. He just looks plain and simple. However, you do see like a faint glow from his eyes, like kind of like he's measuring everything. And he's actually the one that talked to you guys first. He says, well. I think I'm glad you didn't take the bet, or else I'll be losing 20 golds. Damn it! You guys almost cost me. He turns around you guys and says, well, but since we're all on the same boat, name's Jimjar. Sorry, name's Jimjar.
I reach out a hand. Nice to meet you, Jimjar.
He tried to reach out awkwardly, but yeah, well, girl, don't sweat it. Like, we're all chained up, and yeah, there's no need for courtesy here. We're just a bunch of prisoners sitting here to rot. As for the wise guy over there, he turns around to you, Viking. He says, don't bother to try to break off. Well, at least not using the rock on the wall. Because, these chains, they're made of adamantium. Exceptionally strong. Yeah. Especially for prisoners. Well, the chains are
Too
different.
strong for prisoners.
Well, he kind of said this in a kind of questioning tone. I don't think the chains are the same, but the bracelets like that's tighting around you are. Like, the chains might be made of steel. I'm not sure. I'm not a crafter, so yeah.
Can I just look, study these things?
Yes. Go ahead. With your stone cunning and your craftsmanship background, you don't need any roll to tell that he's telling the truth. The circles that are chaining around your wrist, they are made of the strongest metal you've ever seen, adamantium. However, the chains between them are just plain steel. You think if you use enough strength, you can break it off. But that will require a really, really high strength. Or if you are crafty enough, you can try to unlock it if you have any tools that are suitable. Still, like the locks, but judging by the complexity of it, it's probably gonna be hard to open it.
I'm gonna look over at Tali and be like, never mind.
Yeah, it'd be great if they weren't broken and I didn't suck.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
by
think
the way, do
mine
any
would
of
have
you
been
guys
slower
here know why magic is not working?
Okay.
And I need, it's a bit of a necessary thing.
Viking, you were saying? Sorry, I'm just gonna take all of your questions first.
I taking my thieves' tools were taken from me.
Yes. All of your tools, all of your belongings are gone. You now have only your clothes.
Is my black swan feather quill
Yes.
Gone?
Yes.
No. Love that.
You also you lost the pendant Bree gave you guys.
I'm okay
Yes.
with that.
As I,
Um,
as
Oh,
I,
you said that
as I
nice.
sort of like pat myself to check if it's there. But when I realize it's not, I'm like, oh no, the Breed's Panda's gone too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come over to Homura. And
So I'm pretty saddened by that.
Mm-hmm.
You're like shoving
like,
past every
Tali-
single person.
Well, pretty much. I'm like, Tali, yours the same as mine. I'm trying to like get her attention, like, kind of scenario. Hamara, are these the same as yours? Change, and I'm like, follow my fucking lead, kind of like under my breath without anybody hearing.
Okay.
The
Yes.
Homura and the
The
melee.
exact same damn thing.
You think that between the three of us, we could maybe break the chains between my hands and feet?
Let's see what we got.
As they're doing that, I basically start like trying to look around the rest of the room to see who else is sort of stuck here with us.
Okay. So I'm
I'm-
gonna
I'm gonna
resolve
walk over to the
Alex's
door.
questions first.
Okay.
So, for Suit, you ask around, and it's same. The same guy respond to you. As he's trying to speak, Jim Jar, as he's trying to talk, you heard a deep voice saying, "Anti-magic form." It's just anti-magic field.
But my arm
It-
isn't working.
do you know if that's in this cell or if it's just the whole air? If it's like a huge area?
It's the cell. As you
Mm.
look towards the voice, like the origin of the voice, you see like a weird creature you guys probably have never seen before in your life. Part of his body, like most part of his body, is just no. It's actually this guy. Sorry, I'm gonna show you guys this picture.
Him?
No, actually, if you look right past you, if you see like on your left side, that's the first token is Jim Jar. Do you guys see it? Sorry.
Which one? This one?
You you scroll the browser to the left, and you'll see.
This guy?
No, this guy. This guy is Jim Jar, and
Oh,
this
Jim
guy
Jar.
is the voice where it came from.
I don't know if you're on the right layer. I'm not
on.
seeing it.
Zoom all the way out, and it's up by the.
Yes, it's by the far
the text.
left side.
It's
of
like the
Oh,
top left
yes.
of the map.
The map is exceptionally big, so
Yeah.
I'm
The guy
sorry
with
you have to
blue
move it.
goggly bits.
Yes.
I'm gonna take a close look at it, and I'm like, I'm sorry. What's your name?
I sort of
Mhm.
as I see that guy, I also I sort of join suits
Or
and
actually-
looking
Also,
at him as well.
do I recognize what he is at all?
First,
From my studies or
he's gonna
travelers?
okay,
group?
hold on. Let's resolve one thing at a time. First, he's gonna respond to you. I don't have a name. I was made unlike humans or organism that's naturally reproduced. You can just call me number 9, because I'm the final.
That's a
one.
very good sound to identify you as.
All right. And
That's what names are. They're just noises we make for other people to respond to.
Yes. And you can roll for either history or arcana. As for Viking, Tali, and Hamura, what do
No
you
idea.
guys wish to do? Do you guys wish to use pure strength to break it?
And neither one of us know.
Yeah. Neither of you know.
So,
Okay.
hands, feet, they're attached like this, right? So I want to get 1 or 2 people on this side, 1 or 2 people on that side, and I'll be like on the floor, and you're gonna try and break it as a
So use pure
make people's
strength, I presume.
collective strength.
I assume. Okay. Okay. So, Viking,
Actually,
roll
does he
for strength check, but you have advantage because others are helping you. Just
real quick?
pure strength check.
Does he look like
Oh.
Warfort? Like, does he look like Guardian? Resemble Guardian?
I'm gonna just respond to Viking real quick and then turn back to
Okay.
you. For Viking, the chain holds; it doesn't break, even with the combined strength of all three of you, and it doesn't break. In fact, if it weren't for them, you'll probably hurt your back doing so. But thankfully, they helped you, so it's fine. As for suits, you don't think it's a Warforged. I'm gonna describe how number 9 looks to you guys, and yeah, number 9, he looks like underneath his like hood is a face covered in gray color. He looks like he's been carved out of stones. However, part of him is keeps falling off as you were speaking, like crumble into a small pile of dust. And like there's a blue, like you can see cracks all over his body, and beneath the cracks you can see blue streams of energy floating through it. He doesn't look like any Warforged or Golem you have ever seen before. Especially for you, Rainy. You learned all types of golems, and you are absolutely sure that he is not one of them. And as you have learned before, golems rarely develop sentient. So you assume he's just another species. And as he said, he's made out of, like, he's been crafted, not naturally born. You assume he's probably similar to what Warforged as a race is. They're being crafted. Okay.
So like, yeah, so that definitely catches my interest, and I sort of start asking, you were crafted? Does that mean you're a construct? Are you a warforged? What kind of construct are you? Yeah. So like obviously start getting really excited.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I start
He
firing
just
questions at him.
he just says, "I'm not from this realm. You wouldn't have known. And no, I'm not a Warforged. I'm something more than that."
You're from another world.
Does it seem like to me that the anti-magic field is what's causing him to start crumbling or slowly crumble?
Do you wish to ask him, or are you just looking around?
I'm just looking. I'm just observing him.
Roll an Arcana check for me. This is pure Arcana. No,
Natural
you
one,
don't know. You can't tell. You really can't.
What's magic?
Yeah, what's magic?
I don't know what magic is.
You're from another world, but then where did you come from then?
A place you probably never heard, but I'll say it anyway. It's a place called Kaladesh.
Oh.
Kaladesh.
what?
Kaladesh.
Oh, what?
Kaladesh.
Oh, what's Kaladesh?
It's a place where the best craftsmen in the world gathered. It's a town of wonder. Sadly, we are the
How come you're not in
byproduct.
Kaladesh?
Sadly, I'm the byproduct of that wonder. As for why I'm not there, well, someone took me here. My creator. The one I sworn to kill. He took me here.
Guys, this is when Robin becomes a playable character in the game.
Right.
Surprise!
One of us
motherfucker.
becomes the DM. Kidding.
You swore to kill your own creator? And I look really shocked at hearing this.
For the
When
pain.
he says that, I lean over to Talia. It's like, I really like this guy.
That seems like fun.
Yeah, he. He
I
doesn't
lean over
really,
to Tully and I'm like,
Yeah.
I think we should keep this guy.
He doesn't really notice you guys were talking. For he is too indulged in his own story, and he continues. For the pain and suffer he put me through. It's not pleasure in this form. As you can see,
Sounds like a best.
he raised his hand, and part of the crack cracks as he raised his hand, and more dust,
Ooh.
more like dust falls off.
Oh, yeah, that does look like kind of a problem.
That
My
happened to be
kind.
because of the anti-magic thing.
He looks at you and says, "No, though I wish it was. My kind were called the Aetherborn. We were the byproduct of what they craft." And he looks on his arm. We only live the lifespan of like a quarter of you guys, a quarter of human.
Ah.
We fade since the day we were born. Yeah. And he says, that's now you see why I want to kill my creator.
And who exactly is your creator? Just curious, for a friend.
He looks
We say
across
his
the
name
room.
is
He
Jay
actually
the
looks
Gnome.
across the room and focuses his gaze.
I'm still on the floor, like
Yeah.
writhing with the chain.
Yeah, definitely.
He's just having a
He
casual
just,
conversation going.
Who created you? Like that, yeah. And number 9 actually looks across the room, staring intensely at Jim Jar, and says, "It's one of his kind. His name is War Wonderstone."
Not who I thought it was.
And you guys know Vor is actually the guy who sprinkled
yeah.
you with tracker's dust along with Bree. Well, Bree's not the one responsible, but tomato tomato.
That
can
son
help.
of a bitch.
We can help you with that
Yeah.
because we happen to know him, and we also may or may not have had a stone before we got locked in here that can take you to him.
He just looks at you guys. Hold
We're
on.
just a bunch of misfits. Don't worry about it.
Okay. He thinks it's a natural 20. He thinks that you guys
Oh, is
are
it on
being
insight?
sincere. Yeah, it's on insight. So he looks at you intensely, and he says, "I can see your sincerity. If we ever made it out, I will follow you. And I shall strangle
I whisper over to Tully. I'm like,
him."
hey, he's gonna follow us.
Hell yeah. Excellent. Welcome aboard, 9.
Welcome
just
aboard
need
to the
to
group
break my
that has no
chains.
name.
No need.
Which I'm
of
like, I'm
name.
kind of like looking over to everyone like real quick, like, we need a name at some point.
There's no need of
It's
name.
getting ridiculous now.
Well, it's not like we have anything else to do right now.
Oh, well, let's pull up the list. I'm like pulling up a mental list, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Is this door?
Mm-hmm.
Does it have bars?
Yes, it's heavily barred. So
Can I dangle my? Can I get my fake arm through to see
no,
if?
like
Oh.
even
Conk.
even the even Ravani's arm, as almost half the size of your arm, can fit it through. You know how thick the bar is. However, as you were trying to approach the gate,
There's a big
a drow
bars.
came out of the shadow and points
Okay.
his crossbow at you, Hamura, and says, "Don't get any funny ideas, dwarf."
I'm just wondering why you left. my arm on.
Yeah, don't
And use
think
this.
for a second your pathetic magic is gonna work, peasants. He looks
Oh, it's-
inside the bar and says, all this place is covered in anti-magic field. Just
Awesome.
for your kind. And he especially points at Ravani and Suits. Especially
I'm gonna look at him, and I'm just gonna I'm just like thinking of potential obscenities I can tell him, like curse words that I know in Undercommon. I'm like, oh damn it, I don't know any of them.
Do you wish to? Do you wish to?
I'm gonna call him a
curse
milk. I'm gonna call him a milk
for
drinker because
insult.
that's the closest thing I know as a curse word.
Milk
in
drinker.
Undercommon.
He kind of.
'Cause I'm like-
so
like, my dad didn't teach me any of this crap.
do you call his name by saying he is a milk drinker?
I'm like, I'm just gonna call him a milk drinker.
Okay.
in Undercommon.
He
Milk drinker.
looks at you, kind of confused face. You know, it's like, okay. Clearly.
I'm sorry, they didn't teach me curse words at school for Undercommon.
Oh, that's for curse. Oh, you pathetic peasants. Can't even curse right.
You can't even fight people fairly. So,
Okay.
yeah.
He, as you were saying this, since you're now currently your AC is dropped to 10. He
Is it
fires
10?
a cross.
it really?
Yes, because
I
you
thought it was
don't.
11 normally.
Oh, sorry. What's your normal? Sorry, my bad. What's your
I'm-
normal AC?
I'm
Without
ready.
any armor on you. With
I
no
have-
armor.
I thought my normal clothes was the leather armor.
No, costumes are different. Clothing and costumes
Oh.
are different from the armor you are wearing.
What's the base stat when you're not wearing clothes or when you're,
I
10?
believe is
Oh, it's 11.
And when
yeah, I believe is
10 plus
10.
deck, isn't it?
Yeah, plain 10,
That's a
10 plus dex. Wait,
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 11 then.
11. Okay.
7 plus 1.
So, okay. As he points his crossbow through the tiny, bars, tiny gap, and he shoots, the crossbow actually, kind of scratch your shoulder a little bit, and, fired behind the wall, fired towards the wall behind you, and says, "This is just a warning. Next time,
Mm.
you'll feel the pain if you ever talk to me like that ever again." And you see, as the crossbow,
I'm just gonna be a dick and smile at him like,
Yeah.
okay.
okay,
I want to chime in. Yeah, dude, there's a difference between a warning shot and just being really shitty at shooting,
okay,
and I think you're the latter.
okay. He's gonna fire another
While
shot.
I'm on the ground.
I'm gonna sit down.
Yeah, it's gonna
while
be
that's
harder for
happening
him,
after that
actually.
and sit down next to Tolly.
Yeah. Let's see. It's actually
what
gonna
you're
be
saying.
harder since Viking is currently on the ground. And
Flat on the ground, like.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't even stop trying to undo the chains while I'm talking to him. I'm just throwing insults.
Okay.
We're just insulting the guard. That's all. That's our
Yeah.
only plan.
Crossbow. Let's see. Okay. He misses poorly. He tried to shoot you, but you were fumbling all over the place, and he couldn't. He's like, "Consider yourself lucky," and he walks away.
wait, I wanna. Oh my
Yeah.
After he walks away, I'm
Yeah.
gonna whisper to Tolly. I'm like, okay, go grab the arrow.
As you guys were trying to
Yeah.
grab the arrow, the one on the wall actually crumbles into dust. The one on the floor, however,
Wait.
roll me a dexterity check with advantage.
Who?
Who?
Tolly. Since
You-
Suits
Save
you
or dex
tell-
check?
Dex, just dex check. Plain dex check with advantage.
Please.
Okay. You
Is
grab
that-
it by the tail and kind of prevent it from falling apart. However, you now only have the bolt head, the arrowhead.
That's perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect.
That's-
I'm
yeah.
gonna nod over Tali, or not Tali, Hamura over. I'm like, need your help.
When
I've
they're
only got one useful arm right now. What help am I gonna be?
Yeah, she's gonna be
Can-
in severe disadvantage if she helps
Well,
you.
Never
That will
mind.
counter off the advantage you guys have. if
I
you
can
have
be a
help.
distraction right about now. That's it.
Well, I mean,
I wanna-
Viking has that perfectly down.
Amora, can you take your arm off?
I mean, not by myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I can't
like
yeah.
3
It should
persons
make
work.
sense if I.
It does 3 people's work. Like,
Yeah.
it will take a little bit of
With help?
effort. Yeah, to like safely disarm the arm.
Does your
Is arm-
arm still
like I said,
respond to you
Yes.
if it's not
Explosive?
attached?
No, but you will
Never
have
mind.
to be careful in consideration that not harming the runes that are carved on the arm. It's a
Ooh.
delicate work.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was hoping we could use it as like a nunchuck, like just Amora's arm is like.
Yeah,
swinging.
then
I mean,
she-
I was,
if
I
you
thought she was
do it
gonna throw, we were
roughly,
gonna
she'll
throw the arm
probably
outside
lose it.
and then like pickpocket the guard
Yeah.
with the arm.
I know,
was
like a
trying to
robot
get the
arm.
guard
Just,
to take it off
yeah.
so I could.
I was like, damn it.
strangle him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's like it
I'm-
from Adam's Family. Like
Nice.
I'll look into upgrading it to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna-
Someday.
we should. I'm just gonna start whispering and say, okay, let's. We have the bolt head.
As you
Now,
were
is
trying,
this, I'm just like,
to
is this
say
enough
that-
to pick this?
I'm gonna conceal that shit.
Yeah. As you were trying to say that, you heard a loud thumping noise come towards you guys, and you turn around and see
Concealing.
the orc actually looks down at you guys, saying, "What are you hiding? Runt wants it. Give it to Runt."
Do I have what exactly do I have on me right now? Like, I'm asking you, Robin.
Okay, as
Is there-
a out of character that you speaking? Okay,
Yeah,
you have
I'm just out
nothing.
of character.
You have only your clothes. That's it.
I don't even have anything that.
No,
I stand up.
Disintegrated. It's a boat.
no, not even gold. You don't have anything else besides your
God.
clothing. Yep, the drows do
Yeah.
a thorough work
Oh,
to make sure you
I-
guys are unarmed.
I tell the orc, I'm like, I have chains. You can have these. And I'm like, when I get up,
Runt, not stupid. He smack you. He smack the chains. Runt has chains too. Why would Runt want chains? Elf
Guys.
lady.
more chains the
because
merrier.
then you'd be 2 chains run.
Elf
That's a cool name.
lady. Oh wait.
I have an idea.
As you say that you have 2 chains, roll me a persuasion to persuade him that 2 chains are better than 1, and he can actually take your chain.
Oh, please be good.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my
Runt thinks for a second. He says, "Okay, give Runt your chain," and he grabs you. You should consider yourself lucky. He rolled a natural 1. He grabs Suit's chain and try to yank it.
Oh shit.
And Suits, do you wish to
I'm
fight
like-
him? Or, because judging by the strength he's using, he's probably gonna break your hands and your foot and your neck if he actually rips it off.
Ooh.
So I want
I'm
to.
gonna look at Viking and like just like help.
I'd say Tully, and I take a knee and pat my back.
I'm going to take a running leap.
Okay.
And as she runs onto my back, I'm pushing off to try and get her fucking leverage.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, hold on. Let me double check. You
What's
guys are
happening?
trying to use him as a ramp, and try to like launch off and try to what? Kill Runt? Or what would you like to do?
Strangle him with our chains or something
Okay,
like that.
To
okay.
do a backflip and like
Okay, yeah, I got it. So, for Tully, roll me an acrobatics check first to see if you actually get the boost. You
Here
do,
comes my
however,
arm.
have advantage. So I would say yes,
24.
a 23 definitely launches you into the air. So you all see as Tully just runs off, jumps onto Viking's back as Viking like using all his strength and push and gave Tully a boost. You all see Tully flying in midair and try almost hitting the ceiling since it's a little bit too high. However, successfully managed to attach the chains around Ron's neck. As of now, Suits is actually like having foam out of his like mouth because Ron is pulling, it's kind of strangling Suits. It's like, "Ugh, why won't it come off, Catman?" He just
Easy, put him down and
And
we'll
he's
get them
like-
off.
roll me a strength check.
Oh,
Okay.
God, this is gonna be bad.
I will stand up after this though and go for his chains to try and keep his arms down.
Okay.
For Tully.
You should consider yourself lucky since he also rolled another natural one.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, that's 2 ones in a row. I don't know what happened to me today, but hey. Yeah, anyway, you successfully like pulled him back like hard enough for him to let go of Suit's chains. As he's right now trying like desperately try to grasp you with his hands.
You could really
I
use
will
some crotch
say-
kicking in here.
Yeah, I will say he grabs you since you are already attached to his back and you don't have any room to wiggle. He grabs you by the shoulder and throws you to the wall. Roll me an dexterity save. Roll me an acrobatics check to see if you manage
Alright,
to.
front foot for style.
Yes, you managed to do not a 3-point landing, but a graceful landing. And
eat shit,
yeah,
that's all that matters.
without hitting the walls. He's like,
Just gracefully
Catman
lands on her feet.
lied. Catman says Ron can have the chains. Now give Ron the chains and whatever that elf is hiding. He's not calling you lady right now.
I'm gonna lean over to Jim Jar and be like, "Do the guards care about fighting in the cells?"
Well, Jim Jar's like, Jim Jar's actually, as you look at him, he's actually betting with another person. Like at this point, he's like, "Oh, come on, let's see who kills who first. Oh, wait, oh, sorry. Hey, hi, never catch your name, lady. Name's Jim Jar. Yeah, he just awkwardly tries to cover that he's betting on you guys, and it's like,
I am so disappointed in you. Do the guards care if there's fighting in the cells?
Well, first,
Will they come to break it up?
Yeah, they don't really. You have to understand. Well, we don't have any pleasure here. That's probably the funniest thing we ever do. And you see everyone else just shook their head, just like, nope. And Jim Jar continues. He doesn't seize you. He's just too busy trying to explain himself to you. He's like, oh no, as long
I
as
don't care about the betting.
yeah.
Do the guards care if someone gets their head busted in?
Definitely. They don't want anyone to get
And I
killed.
deck them.
Oh, pff. He was trying to say, and he's like, okay. Ow, no.
And then I just yell, "Fight in the cell! Fight in the cell!"
Okay.
Yeah, as I'm
Okay.
looking around frantically trying to figure out what to do, I sort of eventually try to sort of make. Am I able to make my way up to the bars?
Sorry. What would you like to do? I couldn't hear properly. Sorry. My bad.
Am I able to make my way up to the bars?
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Okay,
yeah. Although you guys are fighting, you definitely have space.
I make my way up to the bars and then I sort of try to call out like, hey, we have someone fighting. Can someone help break it up, please?
As you say that, as you guys are fighting, Riveni, as you pass through someone, you see this menacing creature. Like, since you guys are too busy fighting, you didn't really recognize him in the first place. He's one of the guy that's been hiding in the corner. I'm gonna show you guys his face. He's actually a fur a fellow covered in heavy fur, and as you look at him, he's probably the most menacing looking creature, even more menacing than the orc you guys are fighting currently. He looks at you and says, "Don't bother." Like, he actually, at first he says in the hold on, what language do you speak? Sorry, Riveni, what language do you speak?
Check real. Common and halfling.
Common and halfling. Okay. So at first you don't understand what he's saying, for he is saying a language that's elegant in pronunciation and fluent. And then he.
Do I understand what he's saying?
What do you speak? What kind of language do you speak?
I speak Common, Draconic, Celestial, and Undercommon.
No, you don't.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah. And then he tried to switch into another tongue and says, just this time is a grumpy sound that kind of foul and that sound of pure evil. But for Suits, you actually understand. He's saying, "Don't bother."
Please bother.
No, you are already been let go.
I'm like, I have my claws out now. I'm like,
no. For you, Suits, your Runt already let you go. So right now you're off the hook.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you were choking and it was painful, but right now you're fine. And you heard this.
Well, my claws are out after the. And I'm
you
like,
understand it's undercommon for Suits. You understand. And for Tully, although it's been like busy, like everything is chaotic, you do hear someone saying in Elvish saying, "Don't bother." And
I know Elvish.
Yeah, Elvish. Yeah, okay. Hamura, you also know that someone is saying in Elvish, "Don't bother." And as you guys are making the scene, two of the guards, one of them is the original guy that was here, that was mocked by you guys, and he left. The other guy actually shows up as well, and he says, "What's with this? You guys all want to die?
The orcs.
Break it off."
I want to do.
The orc was the one who started it. I had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, if you have nothing to do, face the wall. Move along and face the wall. For all of you who wishes to not die, face the fucking wall.
I sort of tried. I tried to ask, like, can you at least tell us
He
why we're
shoots you
okay.
with a crossbow. Roll because you're facing him. Because you're facing him, Riveni. I'll say you have the chance to do an acrobatics check or dexterity save. Your choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Your choice.
Barrel roll.
To try to avoid. Yes.
Such assholes. I love it.
I'm glad you guys are
this new
so
season of us
joyful,
being
even within
chained.
chains and imprisonment. Like, that's just amazing.
Great, it's fine.
Okay.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
Now I know I would
That's
do terrible
awesome.
in prison.
That's pretty nice. Let me see.
What is the difficulty of dodging a crossbow bolt?
Well, it's not more. It's more like I'm improvising here because it's not difficulty. I don't want to
Yeah.
judge because of AC because you guys are all stripped of armor, so I'm being more lenient and giving you guys a chance to dodge it. However,
You're telling me Viking is just completely nude here.
well, he's
But I'm
wearing
gonna-
clothes.
We just
That's what-
assume he just does not wear anything underneath his armor.
I ripped my pants off.
Oh, that's cheating.
That's just cheap.
Yeah.
That just cheap. All
That's
right.
kind of cheap.
Oh,
There's
God.
another pair. It's like, what the shit? Magical pants.
Mm-hmm.
Ruveni,
Magic hands.
the bolt actually hits you this time. Make a Constitution save.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wait, who does it hit?
Ruveni, because he's standing real close to him. Also, you'll have advantage. Sorry, you'll have advantage. You think partially of what you've been eating. Nice. You don't need no lowly disadvantage. You don't need no lowly advantage. You
Okay.
successfully make it through, although you feel the same venom that paralyzes you from before.
Yeah,
But-
but
Okay. What would you like to do at this point? Do you wish to face the wall? Or
once I did I actually take any? I took that.
yeah, it took 5 points of piercing damage, but
Right,
that's
yeah.
not huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of like shriek out for a bit when I get hit, and then I basically go like, okay, I'll go. I'm going, shutting up now.
Okay.
Shutting up now, and yeah, I start going to face the wall.
Okay. The draw
I
actually
wanna-
looks
Point
at you,
taken.
Ruveni.
Point taken.
Yeah, the draw actually looks at you, Ruveni, and he looks at his crossbow bolt. He's like, curiously, like looking between you and the crossbow bolt, and he just ignores you because you're facing the wall. During the meantime, Tolly, are you still fighting Runt?
I mean, I'm trying to get the hell away.
You're trying to. What would you try to do? What would you like to do? Do you try to leap off his body? Do you try to attach to his body?
I thought
I don't know.
I honest to God thought he'd chuck me off already.
Yeah, he tries to chuck you off, but now he's like trying to grab you. Do you wish to fight him or do you wish to avoid him?
If I'm still on his back, I'm just gonna turn him so that I'm away from the gate and he's facing the door.
Okay. So avoid him basically. Just dodge around him, try to bide your time and see if the guards came in. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else who would like to who would like to face the wall at this point?
Oh hell no! I'm
Okay.
fighting this
I
bad.
definitely know.
Not me.
I'm gonna
Viking,
face
you're
the
not.
wall.
Okay.
I'm
Hamara,
gonna
you're
pseudo
facing
face the wall, but if anything happens, I'm turning around.
Okay. So I assume those of you who are facing the wall are prepared to turn around the moment
Oh yes.
the door is open. Okay.
I'm gonna wait till they walk in.
There, I'm facing the wall now.
Okay. So
I'm
during the
facing
time-
the wall, and
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm facing the wall, and I'm sort of just busy like trying to pull out the bolt, and hopefully not bleeding too much.
Yeah. It's not gonna linger. You get this feeling it's not gonna linger, but the bolt it's also not deep, so it's fine. I'm gonna place you to the wall. So you three are facing the wall at this point.
And
Hold on.
and
Sorry, I'm gonna.
and at this point, I'm pretty so at this point I'm pretty intimidated now. So I'm not really ready to try anything else right now.
Okay. So I would say Hamura and Suits are ready for anything, but others are for you, Vinny. You are gonna stay put.
I'm gonna act like I'm terrified.
Okay. Okay. So Viking, you're still on the ground. Like, try to.
Or at least shaken up.
Yeah, try to act like you're shaking up. To all of your surprises, none of the prisoner on the corner are doing anything besides run. They're all just sitting there, like, doing nothing. You don't roll a perception check. All of you, like, if you wish to see why they are
I'm
not.
too busy to
doing
notice anything.
Yeah, you're too busy to notice anything.
I'm looking at a wall.
All of you guys, yeah.
I'm making
Tully,
plans.
Yeah,
I'm
Tully.
just too stressed out to notice
Yeah.
anything.
For those of
The
you
one
who
that's the
are
busiest
facing
Oh
the
is
wow,
wall,
double
perception.
ones.
Yeah.
We
you're
cannot
just
Oh
roll.
my
Yeah.
god.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who
I-
are facing the wall, you're just too busy like covering your own ass and or get ready for anything. For
Making
Tully,
them plans.
you get a feeling that they either they might have seen this for a dozen time and it doesn't really end well, or B, they just also biding their time to try to do outbreak or whatever. Okay, at this moment, the drow, instead of coming inside the cell, he's actually gonna shoot at
I'm a bitch.
at Runt. Actually, he's gonna actually shoot at Runt and try to see. Let me check. Shoot. Okay, he's definitely. All right, let's see if he makes it. Okay,
Just got
he
grunt killed.
don't.
It's fine.
Even
It's me.
yeah, even
Be free.
with the orc, strong build of an orc, he falls face plant, into the floor. Just yep. And the drow at this moment points his crossbow at you, Tolly, and fires a bolt as well.
Oh, I'm gonna drop down behind him.
Okay. Acrobatics check to see if you successfully dodges the bolt and dodge behind.
Hit the deck. Oh man.
Okay. He hits
You're gonna
you
get him killed.
like so close. He could have missed, but you think you tripped your foot when you're trying to cross over Runt, and he hits you just barely
Yeah,
on
that's
the
fair.
shoulder. Roll me
Oh, that
a
net 20.
Constitution save to
Oh,
see
good
if
night.
you push through.
No.
Roll Constitution. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
no,
Mm-mm.
that's
Definitely
definitely
not.
a good night.
Yep, it's a good night for you. You feel your hands locked, your jaws tightened, your muscles just clutched in, and you fall into the hardened floor. You take 4 points of piercing damage, and you are now incapacitated.
Joy.
Yep.
Oh shit.
And he's trying to fire bolts at Viking, who's currently rolling in the floor.
I want to go fetal.
He will have
Facing the wall.
disadvantage since you are rolling on the floor.
We're not
Would
prone.
you roll me this will not be an acrobatics check because this is gonna be a dexterity save because you're just rolling on the floor.
This is a minus
Okay.
13 because
14.
I still have my shield on, which gives me +1.
Oh,
saves.
don't worry. So 13, I would say, because -1.
Yeah, it is a 13 one.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 13 is
He
real number.
even
Did you
with
say-
the
did you say
disadvantage, he hits you, and he turns before he do anything else. He turns around to the other guard and saying, "This is how it's done. If you can't handle a simple task like this, maybe you should go feed yourself to the ooze."
Damn.
Yeah. And roll me a Constitution save, Viking. Okay.
That would
Damn
be
it.
You are also paralyzed, locked, and your skin, like, especially for you, you feel like the venom kind of eats in deep.
I just want to say before I go paralyzed, I say, "Avenge me!" And I'm
You'll
looking at Hamara.
you'll probably say, "Avrit," and that will be it. Because your jaw also tightened. You're now incapacitated. You can't really speak. Your tongue's also tightened, so it's like, you almost, bite your tongue, but yeah. Beyond that, you're fine. You take 4 points of piercing damage. That's it. But you are considered incapacitated. Both of you who are now lying on the floor, You're both considered incapacitated for the rest of the hour.
Well, shit.
Yep.
Can you get that orc out of here? He's gonna kill us.
Okay. You know what? Hamra, roll me a persuasion check with advantage because the orc does started everything when.
Also, I'm shaking like a leaf.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
18. Let me check. The draws. Oh wait, it's not perception. Thank God, it was a natural 20. Yeah, it's not perception. Don't worry. It's not perception.
It's insight.
Yeah, it's insight. Plus nothing. Okay, cool. So he looks at you and is like, "You better be telling the truth, dwarf. Watch her, or if you
I'm a cleric.
couldn't,
I have to.
or
tell
could you even do a simple task like this?" The other guy just don't say a word. He's just looking at him angrily, but not a word. And he opens the gate. Okay. And he walks in towards the orc. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna close the gate.
The gate is.
Oh no! Before
higher
okay, so
than
before
you.
she
Hold on.
before she closes, or no,
Let me describe
As-
how the
after-
gate works. It moves upwards.
Oh, it's like a
It's like
portcullis.
controlled by chains, and it moves upwards. It's not like a normal door that close and like open like normal door. Yes, it's a chained cell.
I'm so real
I'm gonna
quick
try to
after he
dumb it.
passes me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna move as quickly as I can and push this guy over the edge.
That was my plan too.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
after Jimmy Dumbass.
So I'm gonna describe how this works. So, as the guy who shots your friends came into the cell, the other guy just still staring at him angrily, and he sees you guys like are rushing towards him. He immediately drops what he's holding, and you guys can all hear the dropping sound of the door. However, I'll let you roll for athletics check to see if you manage to jump
shit.
over to run over the gap
Can
before
I
the
say
gate
I
closes.
used my feline agility? Like I'm moving much quicker than I would normally.
I will say yes. Then you will have advantage on athletics.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
I
Okay.
kind of needed it.
Yep, you kind of needed it. Or, well, you rolled normally when we calculate, it's normally start with the left side. So, yeah, you don't actually need it because you rolled a 15 in the first time. I'm just letting you guys know how I consider this. So the left side is
Okay.
I consider you rolled it first, then the right side is the second time. Okay, so you both made it, and you try to push him over. Since you guys are both doing this. Roll me a strength check. Whoever's doing it with advantage.
Mora.
Okay, Amora, you have
Straight tank.
yes, strength.
Because I got a -1.
Okay.
I'm-
You have advantage and try to push him. Let me see how he reacts to that dex save. Okay.
Oh.
He actually falls. Like, he barely holds his ground, but he was focusing on staring at his comrade. Then he totally didn't see this coming. He falls into the pit. It's like,
By the way,
Oh.
this whole time, as that's happening, Tooch is just thinking, this feels really natural for some weird reason.
yeah. He's like,
Just knocking shit over.
the drow just
Hmm.
yells, "Fosbrook!" and he falls into the pit. You don't hear a thump though.
Aw.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't want to fall down that pit.
You hear something else. Something like a string's being pulled, like a bouncing sound, like a kind of sound.
Okay, well, I want to know what that is.
And you heard a cough, and then someone yells in a language you don't understand. Well, Hamura, you do. You heard him saying, "We have a breakout! Prisoner breakout!
Shit.
In
Shit.
the
We got
slave's
you.
pen!"
We gotta take care of
And
Is my arm working again? I'm out
yes,
of the door.
the moment you launch yourself out of the gate, your arm is back to full functioning.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Turn it
Do
into a
I
hammer.
have my magic? At least the things without my book.
You do. Oh, also, since you became a wizard in your dreams, I would say you prepared the spells the
Okay.
moment you choose them. But
The
you
3
lack.
spells that I'm allowed.
However, you lack the component, the materials to perform it. So you can only cast the spells that requires verbal and somatic.
Okay, so real quick,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do disguise self.
Let me see.
I'm gonna cast disguise self on myself and look like a drow.
Disguise self works. Hold on. Let me see how disguise self works. Okay.
I can just
Yeah.
Okay.
You can.
There you go.
Okay. Cool.
verbal and somatic,
Okay.
and it's myself.
Okay. Cool. So you cast disguise self onto yourself.
Yep.
Okay.
And I remember my lessons with the Kenku about voices and shit, because I know how to do voices relatively. And I'm gonna yell towards the other guards. God damn it! The the cat guy got away. He just switched off.
You
Weird
don't
magic shit.
speak Elvish, right?
Nope. I'm just yelling it in Undercommon.
Okay. Okay. That's actually smart. Okay.
So,
However, currently the gate is closed. Even though because none of you are trying to hold the chains, the gate is closed at this point. The drow who's inside turns around at all of you, holding his crossbow up, and says, "Nobody fucking move a muscle."
Can I try and fart at this point? Because I think that would be funny.
Go
I'm
ahead.
paralyzed. But
I'm
just
gonna
sleeper.
like pseudo grab like just grab Homura and just be like, trust me. I got the dwarf.
Okay. Okay.
so when I sort of heard the falling drow sort of cry out, I sort of tried to quietly I sort of snap out and I sort of tried and quietly like turn my head to try and get a look at what's happening.
Okay. So
And-
for Riveni, you see a drow is holding Hamura like on the shoulder.
Oh,
He puts his left hand on Hamura.
Well,
And
this was like when the other drow like right out as he was falling over.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. You don't see your cat friend. You only see a drow with Hamura standing alongside.
Do I see Ravani looking at me?
Yeah, you probably do because you're on the side.
I'm gonna wink at her.
Okay. I would say Reni,
Hopefully that
you
translates.
does see a strange looking drow winks at you. Like one is not like the guards you've seen before, but yeah, he winks at you. His movement, however, is a bit weird though. He kind of needs to hold both of his hand in a similar like level. As he puts his left hand on Homura's shoulder, his right hand is just hanging awkwardly in midair. Yeah. So.
Wait,
sort of
I know
just-
I have the chains on me.
Yeah.
As in the disguise,
Mm-hmm.
and making it seem like
Oh.
me. I switched I switched the chains onto a guard,
Okay. I'll probably.
and I'm like
ask for
holding
more
Homura
details.
like
Okay.
you better not go anywhere.
Okay. Cool. So.
Brat.
Okay.
Is the guard in the cell? Is the guard in the cell still like paying attention to me?
No, he's actually paying attention to everyone. He's currently backing himself up against the cell door, and he's like holding his crossbow, just pointing left and right, trying to pinpoint whoever moves a muscle. And
Yeah. So seeing that he's he's still on sort of high alert, I sort of just give a confused look to the other drow,
mm-hmm.
and then I sort of like just turn to face the wall again so that he doesn't think to fire at me again.
Okay.
'Cause I'm just too afraid he's gonna fire at me again.
Okay. So, currently, both of you are like lock up tight. For Suits and Hamura, now you see like a swarm of spiders climbing up
Oh shit, gross.
from
Like big spiders.
yes, giant spiders with the one you saw in the forest in Thunder Tree. There's actually 4 of them climbing up from the side. And one of them
Does it look like they're going to the drow?
Yes, one of them on top. One of them is a drow, and he's not looking swell. You think, judging by his gesture, he's like, patting on his back, like kind of like support his back. You assume that he dropped real hard onto something, and his back hurts. However, he's currently riding on top of a spider. Upon seeing Hamura, he doesn't even look at you, Suits. He's like, good job. And he shoots he actually shoots twice to Hamura. And since you can't move to dodge, you take both hits.
That's fine.
And takes 11 points of piercing damage. Roll me Constitution save twice. You'll have advantage since your heritage of a dwarf. Yep.
Con save.
Yes. Nice. First pass. Second. Nope. Even with your strong dwarf resilience, you think that the first shot kind of weakens your body and the second shot makes it. Your jaws are tight, muscles tightened, and you are incapacitated at this point. Yep. Suits, you feel the heavy weight of Hamura just kind of crushes on top of you. You have to hold her in place. Yep. He's like, ugh.
Heavy dwarf.
Yeah. He and now the guy who just turns towards you, and he says, in a language you don't understand. He's like, yeah. Saying it in a language you don't understand. You can partially distinguish the tone of angry.
Does it sound like he wants to get out?
Of angry.
Is what the
Oh, okay. The guy who's riding on a spider kind of use a tone of angry, of kind of.
Oh, the guy on the spider.
Yeah, he's talking to you currently. Yeah,
Ooh.
he's kind of a commanding sound. You don't know for sure. They all sound the same.
Can I make the connection that he's asking to be let out?
The spider? The guy who's
Oh,
no.
the spider? I was talking about.
No,
No, I'm talking about the drow that's on the
The guy
inside.
inside is not talking. He's pointing
Oh.
the crossbow to the inmates carefully. The other guy is the one who's yelling at you.
Oh, if only I hadn't passed out like a trampoline. Oh no.
Oh God.
It's not a fair
I
fight.
don't know.
It's not.
I don't know what to do.
So he looks at you confused, like currently, because you're not responding, Suits. He looks at you a little bit confused. Then he kind of said something. You think it's a tone of questioning, but you can't tell.
Ooh, I don't do.
What would you like to do? What would you like to do? You
Uh,
have about a few splitting seconds to do whatever you want. What would you like to do?
Do I know? Did I see how like the switch on the gate?
Yeah, you see
Or
a
at
chain
least-
that's been on the side. You see, like, you can pull it down if you want to.
Oh shit! It's like a pull chain.
Yeah.
Is
it's
it like
pull. It
a
takes
single
a-
pull
No.
that
it
raises the whole
it
thing
probably
up, or is it
takes
like a physical? Like you have to like
yeah,
pull it
you
down?
probably with like the pulley system, you have to probably pull it for a few.
Can I use an intelligence check to like to deduce what he's trying to ask me?
Okay. Roll and actually that'll be an insight to see what he wants. Roll me an insight check. You
Not great.
can't tell if he's just yelling at you or if he's like making a conversation. You can't really tell. Now, since I would say you still have 1 second to decide what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna respond to him in Undercommon. I got the dwarf. the cat guy got away though.
He kind of okay.
I'm telling him that he went. Oh God, which way? That he went. Oh God,
Whoops.
I got kicked out. I'm pointing to the right. I'm facing towards him. I'm
Okay.
pointing to the right path.
Okay. Holy. He looks at you suspiciously. Then he said, "Why?" He says in the language you understand now. He says in Undercommon, and he says, "Why would you speak in a lower tongue?" Nice.
Because I understand how
What's
no.
who's your commanding officer?
Oh shit.
Which family
Hold
are
on.
you from?
Do I know a drow family that I can just at all?
Well, there are tons of drow family. Roll me an intelligence check to see if you know a drow family. History check. That will be history part. Yes.
Well, wouldn't that roll just be? Wouldn't I just roll as an add? What? Oh, actually, no. That actually is still the same. It's I'm not
it's-
proficient in history, so
yeah.
it's.
If you are proficient in history, then you'll have advantage. No, then you'll have.
I'm not proficient in history.
So intelligence.
Well, intelligence is the
19.
Three.
Okay.
So it's essentially
So
that
it's
roll.
the same. Okay. So 19, you pull it out from your ass. A dozen of like drow family name, although they're mostly in Elvish, which is a language you don't really speak. But you do know how some of them pronounce. You know that one's a famous hero, Druids, Duerden, Like that's a famous drow, you know, the family name, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know, like some of the lower families in different places. But before you speak of any name, you should be aware that you don't know where you are in Underdark. Clearly, this is Underdark. This is where the drow
Yeah.
lives. Yeah. And with your knowledge, you know that if you randomly speak a family name that isn't in this area, you'll probably be in a huge trouble.
Ooh, fuck.
Yep.
Was one of them that I knew near, like one that's like near? As far as I think I'm still near where we were.
You mean the family?
Yeah, like a
roll
family name that
history
would have been
check.
like.
Roll another history check to see if you can remember. Yeah.
Come on.
Sadly,
Come
you
on.
don't. Yeah.
Mm,
It was a nice try, but we're busted.
It was a nice try. It was a really nice try. It would have been amazing, I would say. But
Fuck.
yeah.
So close.
It's I'll have to say this. It's a really difficult check. If you don't know your surroundings, it's gonna be really, really difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since you're not responding, he now points his crossbow at you, Suits. He's like, stay put, and I'll call the high priest. If you are actually one of us, I'll let you pass. However, you know how the high priest loved to throw her inmates into the devouring ooze. Let's hope you don't suffer that fate. He said that in a rhetoric, like in a sarcastic tone. And he says, or
Who's saying that to me?
the one that's riding on the spider.
Okay.
Or you can
I'm
be a good fella.
I'm not even gonna let him finish.
Yeah.
I'm
would you
gonna
like to do?
cast. Oh, shit.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast. Damn it! I can't cast anything. I'm gonna cast the sound of my voice. I'm using minor illusion. I can
Okay.
do that.
Let me see. Cantrips.
Oh, no,
if you
that's
have the
material.
yeah, if there's materials, you can't. Yeah, it's a pretty fucking situation. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna cast. I need to cast something at him. I'm gonna.
As you are trying to
What?
think, he finishes sentence. Or you can be a nice little inmate, turn back to your cell, and I'll just shoot you in the ass. It's not gonna kill you, but it's gonna make me laugh. And if I'm happy, I may not throw you down to the pit. Okay.
Nope, never mind.
No, there's
that's a
tiny
material
targets. Yeah, you need materials. Well, you can cast shield. You can. You kind of move your lips. At first, he thinks you're saying something. However,
No, I can only do that as a reaction
Oh,
if
okay.
he's
Oh, so it's a reaction.
attacking me.
Okay. Well, so none.
I'm gonna just turn around and pull the chains and just say the jig is up, guys.
Okay. He's gonna try to shoot you. Okay. Okay.
Casting shield as an action.
That's nice. That's nice. That's one part of reacting. That's fine. That's fine.
The jig is up.
I'm just on the floor.
Because you're paying attention, I'll say you can wiggle to try to avoid being shot at. However, you are facing back against him, so you will have disadvantage. Roll me an dexterity save or acrobatics check. Which one you pick? Like, either you pick. It's your choice.
Wiggle that cat butt out of the way.
Yeah, suits. Roll dex save or acrobatics check. It's your choice. To see if you
Acrobatics.
successfully dodge a shot in the
Literally
back.
no difference.
Yeah. Then you'll and also you'll have disadvantage on that. Okay,
Oh.
nice.
Doesn't matter. Both 15.
Yeah. Sadly, he rolled a 20, and now roll me a Constitution save. Yikes. Okay.
That literally, I saw
You-
the actual digital 3D dice. It went from 18 and then rolled back to a 2.
Oh fuck.
That's the worst
That's the worst.
flipping world.
Okay. So you feel like you almost get it. The gate is half open, but then you frozen in place and see it.
Do I
Like,
at least like
falls.
seize up with my hands on the chain and pull it down?
Actually, I'll say you have the strength to roll me a strength check. Just no strength save. Roll me a strength save to see if you
-1.
yank
Let's
the
see what
chain
happens.
towards your direction. You don't have disadvantage. You still don't have disadvantage
15.
yet. So you successfully yank the chain off to the direction you fall, and the door is now open. The door is now open.
I can't do anything because I am now seized up. It's up to you, Ravani.
No pressure.
Okay.
Or
So
anyone else that's in that
The
cell.
moment you open the door, Ravani, you will have time to react because you're paying attention to everything. What would you like to do? The drow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna tell a little bit before. Like, I'm gonna talk a little bit before you. The drow that was squeezing a fart. Nice, nice.
That's not how inspiration works.
Yeah, that's not how. That's like, what's the
I
opposite?
thought
What's the
uninspired.
opposite of inspiration? Anyway,
Fair.
Disappointment.
yeah,
Disappointment.
disappointment. Yeah,
Rest of the
Input
game.
discipline.
yeah. So anyway, the drow, once he heard the sound of the door being yanked open that was inside, he quickly tries to move out. What would you like to do, Ravani, at this point?
The anti-magic field is still up, right?
Yes, it's still up. You
Uh,
assume it's carved within the pen.
Oh, it's within the pen?
Yes.
I wouldn't have done a prison break.
uh,
But now you know. Oh, wait. Did I take damage from that crossbow bolt?
Yes, you take 7 points of piercing damage.
Oh, dear God. Okay. That's only a fourth of my health.
Yep. Not much. It's only a fourth.
Not much.
That's fine.
assuming the guards are distracted right now, is there a way I can just try and to discreetly look for the source of the anti-magic field?
You can. If you wish to spend your time looking for that, you can.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's up to you. Like, you only have one choice to do one thing, because it's like splitting seconds.
It's
Yeah,
like a
kill
Telltale, it's like a
everything.
Telltale's
It's that
game.
choice.
Yes.
Break out or find the anti-magic field.
Okay.
I'm
So-
gonna try.
Students will remember either choice.
I'm gonna try and discreetly look to try and find the source of the magic field, because as long as I know, I'm pretty much useless right now.
Okay. Roll
Oh,
me
right.
an investigation check to see if you can successfully find it. Okay. You think, with your past knowledge, that the spells, the anti-magic field, is probably carved within the stones, since it's covering the slave's pen. So, if you wish to break it, you'll probably need weapons or anything that can, like, break into stones deep enough to find
Could
out.
use my hand.
Yeah.
We can still use my hand. It's fine, guys.
I mean,
Everyone just back in the pen.
use the adamantium shackles.
Well, they are round shaped. There's no edges on the shackles,
Those
so
won't really
But
work.
they're still hard as hell, though.
yeah, true. They're still hard as hell.
They're harder than stone.
Gotta save all those rainy day.
Save all the shackles so you can.
Yeah, they are
anti-armor.
powerful metals. Like if Hamura can get her hands on that material, imagine what she can do. Anyway, as you finish your examination,
Another what? Like
uh,
a third foot something? I don't know.
what? Sorry.
What? Who are we?
Does nobody else in the cell do anything?
Yeah, no one does anything. That's the weirdest part.
Oh, bitch.
No one in the cell does anything.
Rude.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do right
Yeah.
now.
So
So-
you, the drow that was out.
So
Hold
once
your
once
back.
I once I
Mhm.
once I sort of figured it out, I sort of go back to my
Facing
Yes.
wall journey.
position to try and so that if a guard walks in, he doesn't get suspicious.
Okay. Okay. So you don't raise any suspicion, and as the drow came out, he hurled those two back into the cell. And you heard him saying to the others, saying, "Nice work, dummy." And the one that's riding on the spider is like, kind of like, fuck it, I had enough, and shoots a bolt at him. So,
At me?
yep.
Oh no! Wait, at me or at the
no,
other
no,
drow?
at the drow that just came out of
Oh.
the cell.
Ooh.
Anarchy! Anarchy!
The drow, the arrow actually,
You hear Hamura.
yeah.
Damn
The however,
paralysis.
However, the other guy is probably way more stronger than him. He grabs the bolt by his hand. And he's like,
Guys, he has a glove of missile snaring.
yeah. He lunges, he doesn't say a word. He lunges himself towards the other guy and they start fighting. They start
Yeah.
trying to tear each other apart. The spiders are like, fuck it, it's not our business, so they kind of crawls back into the shadows. And yeah. Just do came back, goes back into the shadows. Yeah, and those two are still fighting. Blaze dashing, and they're both really like elite warriors, so they fight kind of like blade dancing. However, as there were fights to like an certain limit, you heard a sound saying a word you don't understand. Like, only Hamura and Tully understands it. It's like, stop this nonsense, you morons. Or I'll toss you, or I'll sacrifice you to loathe myself. And those two, kind of frozen in place just like you guys. You think it's probably something that caused them to stop because their blades are like at each other's throat, but just about 1 inch in tearing into each other's throat. And they're like this, kind of frozen in place. And you see, like, elfish lady just came out from one of the outposts you saw. For Hamura and Suits, you saw it like when you're just out of the holding cell. You saw a bridge, like a small bridge, like leading towards an outpost. If you see below, it's like one of this structure. If you move the map to a lower section, you can see that it is structured like this. And yeah, the outposts are part of the stone structures, and the lady came out of it. And she kind of mutters a few words, and a few dozen more drows came towards those two and dragged them away.
Guess we fucked those two up.
Yep, they're gone for now. Yep, and you heard the lady try to using different tones, and finally she uses common, but she speak it in a sense that she discussed saying in this tone. She says, "If anyone, just anyone wishes to make another scene again, I, the High Priest of House Mizram, will personally see that they sacrifice to Yokolo.
Am I able to like turn my hand up to get a look at the high priest?
Yes. For those of you who are capable of moving, which is Ravani,
It's dependent upon how I landed when I was thrown
you
in.
were hauled back inside, and your face is actually you actually landed yourself, so you can see as well. You can see as well, but it's upside down because your head is facing the wrong direction. You see.
I'm actually more intrigued by the upside down look.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. You see a
like
drow,
perspective.
one hand holding a staff with 3 tentacles on top of it, just keeps moving left and right. Another hand holding a tarantula. For Riveni, you know that the tarantula is yours. Yep.
When she said that, I let out like the loudest fart I can, like.
You let out a small fart, but enough to disrupt her. She kind of noticed that, and she float towards you.
You farted in acknowledgement.
Yeah, Viking. She floats towards you. You see that she's not actually standing on anything. She floats towards the gate. She kind of slash her like wand or staff or whip like thing. You can't really tell. And one of the tentacles kind of lashes onto you, Viking. You take. Hold on. Whoops. You take 6 points of slashing damage, as well as making a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. 21.
You made it, but you could swore to whichever deity that could hear you that the tentacle was yelling in like slimy kind of yells, like kind of squishy, slimy kind of sense that is disgusting. But yeah, you managed to fight off the madness that was within the splash, and that. Okay, Ravani, what were you trying to do?
When it sort of actually registers to me that that's my little tarantula she's holding in her hand, I sort of just turn and sort of stare at it in like disbelief, and I sort of can't help but say like, bitch, is that you?
You see, the priest kind of holds her hand like. Her name is not Pitch, but this is beyond your level. She kind of Pitch kind of walks. You can now tell by judging by the pattern, the color. It is definitely Pitch. It is definitely your pet, but he's facing you with his like bottom, and he kind of doing this gesture that he only did with you. A kind of gesture that means he's close to the guy, whoever the guy is petting him. Yeah. You know that Pitch is distrusting since you ever saved him. So the only person he's been nice is you. But currently that changed. Yep.
I'm a smash spider.
Yep.
Wait, what do you want? Wait,
Yeah.
what do you want with my? What do you want with my? What do you want with him?
She puts Pitch onto her shoulder. It's like nothing. It's just spiders are our thing. And this little fella is with me now. And you can't do a shit about it. And she walks away. Yep, she's a total bitch.
I'm Am I still in her hentai staff there?
Now, the
Oh.
tentacle kind of kind of hits you on the shoulder. Yep.
Okay.
So for Suits, you weren't actively searching for Korra previously when you were out, but you could.
That's what
you could swore you sense a connection before. You could swore you sensed something before.
Did I know the direction of it?
No. Like it's like normally you sense when she's in astral plane. It's distant.
Okay.
Is like.
But did she sense that I was in distress? Not that my cat would care that I was in distress, but did she sense it?
Don't really know. Like,
Okay. Well,
it doesn't
hopes.
work. It doesn't work simultaneously. It's more like a walkie-talkie. So you press the button, you call, and then they notice.
Your cat didn't give a shit, but the rope was very concerned.
Yeah, for
Damn
now, no. You didn't actively call her. If you wish to call her before, I will let you. And
Yeah, I would imagine during that time I would have.
yeah,
panicked
it would
and,
have been.
Korra, where
It
are
was a
you?
mess, so I would say, yeah, you didn't really do call her. And as you guys are hauled back, Suits, your cover is blown, so your disguise self it's immediately
Yeah,
dispelled.
I figured when I was throwing, I was
Yeah.
like, cat person now. I'm like,
Yep. And the high priest kind of floats back into her chamber or whatever where she's doing. And you guys are now all by yourself again. But mostly you're just incapacitated, most of you. Well, you could swore you hear Jim Jar kind of speaking to the other guy saying, "Let's bet on how long they're gonna get back on their feet. An hour? 2 hour? Kind of.
Yes, motherfucker.
I'll take the highest bid."
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to like twitch a finger to raise a bet.
Yeah.
Just
Um,
immensely
Yeah.
pissed off.
I actually have a observation. Have we actually seen if they have gold?
That's a fairly good question. You do see a few glimmer, which when Jim Jar kind of taking something on and off, but you don't know for sure if that's gold or if it just stones. You can't tell.
Robin,
So-
I may have messed up your entire plan because are we still under the benefit of Heroes Feast? That's one question.
That was the part that I was trying to say before. It's similar effect to Hero's Feast. That's why Homura is not immune to poison. That's because Hero's Feast grants you not only the extra 2d10 hit point, but also immunity to poison and advantage on Wisdom save. However, the reason I let Homura do the Constitution save before, it's because her heritage of dwarf, the
Dwarf
stuff
resistance.
that Drows pumped into you guys earlier, it's not poison. It's more like anesthesia or something to kind of subdue you guys. It's not poison. It's a medicine, but it's not poison. The reason I'll allow Homura is because she has dwarf heritage, so she will likely have more resistance to this kind of medicine. However, she also failed. And you guys fall asleep. The three of you, Ruveni, Suits, and Viking, you fall asleep because of the spell, the sleep spell. So,
Sleep spell
yes.
in an anti-magic field.
No, before when you were around the corner.
Yeah.
Later on, you just naturally falls into deeper dreams. So, yeah.
Was that something the priestess cast on me? Because
No, before. No. I was talking about before. I was talking about when you guys leave Castle Mulligan.
The first time we got
Yeah,
knocked
the
out.
first
Oh,
time
sorry.
you were down. It's
never
because
mind.
partially.
Forget me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Anyways, back to
back to current situation. For about you think about a day or so, but it actually only passes for an hour. Yeah, time feels exceptionally long and excruciating when you're incapacitated. You finally break free. The moment you break free, you heard Dreamjar says, "Yes, an hour, I win, yes!" And he's collecting something.
Shut up, Jim Jar.
He's like, "Oops."
Wait, does
Sorry.
everybody break free?
Yeah, everyone breaks free. It's
I
a
walk up to
little
him.
like just a few minutes, like differences, but you guys are all free for now.
I
Including
walk
the
over
orc.
to him.
Yeah, including the orc. The orc
I
is
grab
like
him.
now.
I grab him by the neck
Oh, the orc.
with my claws. Yeah.
The
I
orc
grab
is
Ginger. I'm like,
currently
Ex-
trying to crawl back to his corner. He's like tried very discreetly, but you caught him by the neck.
oh no, I was talking about Jim Jar, the one who was doing
okay.
bets.
Okay.
One that had said, "Yes, I win," and I grab him by the neck with my claws.
Okay. So without your notice, the orc just slowly crawls into a corner and tries to hide his big form. Jinjar, on the other hand, is being grabbed by the neck, and he's not really happy. He's like, "Oh, let's bet on if the cat person really scratch my neck or something, or really kills me. Let's bet on
Jim Jar,
that."
not the time.
Yeah,
Are you
10
really
no,
betting
no,
on
no,
that
no,
right now?
50 gold pieces. I'll raise the bet. He wouldn't want to kill me. I'll
Are you
raise
really
the bet.
willing to bet your own right now?
Yeah, why not? That's all the gambling is all about, right? What is the higher
I
stake
want an
than life?
explanation of why you had a chance to help break out of here and probably actually succeed, and you just stayed sitting down doing nothing.
Currently, before Jim Jar respond to you, you heard a sound. Oh, can I sanity check? Why would you want to do that? I will say yes.
On him. I think he's
will say
insane.
Yes.
Me?
No, on
Me
Jim Jar.
suits or
on
Jim Jar.
Jim
Yeah,
Jar?
go ahead. Roll for an insight check to see if it's sane or insane. Go ahead. Okay,
Nope.
you think he's perfectly fine. It's nothing wrong with betting on your life. It's what you do for breakfast. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so
you do it every day.
yeah,
Of
it's what you
course.
do every day. Before Jim Jar could respond, you heard a voice on the corner saying, "Oh, quit whining, bitch. Can't you tell that they are heavily guarded, or are your scrawny ass couldn't figure that out?" So as you turn around, you see, like on the top left on your map, you can tell. So if you move your screen towards here, you see a dwarf-like lady. Only her skin is dark. She has red hair. Like she's
Like her
definitely
already.
yeah, she's definitely not wearing any armor or having any weapons. But yeah, she's just
Do I
staring at
recognize
you.
her race? What she is?
Yeah, like for those of you who are familiar with Underdark, so suits, because you know Underdark language, you definitely know this is basic knowledge. For Hamura, you definitely know because this is one of your more disgraced kind. For
Evil cousin.
no, it's not your cousin.
Her long lost
Yeah.
evil
No,
sister.
Yeah.
Not that evil
Yeah.
cousin, but like
far,
cousin
far,
to
yeah,
dwarves.
because all dwarves
Yeah.
are once the same.
all dwarves are related.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar with Underdark, you can roll for history check or like religion check to see if you know anything of this kind. For Hamura and Suits, you guys know. Okay. Viking, you don't know for sure. You have never been in Underdark.
He has
in
a
your
very
life.
nice tan,
Yeah, she has very nice.
basically.
Yeah, Tali, you
Or
definitely.
she's
know.
dirty.
You definitely know. And Riveni, do you wish to make the check or
I'll make the check. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the check again?
history or religion? It's up to you. Okay. So all of you besides Viking knows that this is a dwarf race called Durgar. There are not your normally friendly dwarves you see around. Like, these dwarf guards are once, like one clan of the dwarf kind. However, they were discarded, disgraced, and like pushed into Underdark for their suicide, not suicidal, sorry, homicidal, both suicidal like attempts on all other kinds. So they're basically a bunch of maniacs who loves killing people, and yeah, that's why they were like thrown into the Underdark by Moradin himself. However, this one looks a little bit different. She doesn't want to kill you in the first sight. That's always a good sign when you face a Duergar. Yep. And they are exceptionally powerful with their mental like skills. Like a lot of them have psychic powers. So yeah, there's something you should know.
I'm gonna look at her and I'm gonna just say, I'm surprised you didn't want the opportunity to go kill these assholes.
Well, I'll grab any chance I have on those scrawny asses, but not like this. No strategies? You don't even know how many of them are out there. Do you know they have Driders? Do you know there's a big giant ooze on the bottom of the swamp? Do you know the High Priest is a level 9 spellcasters? Do you know any of that? No, you don't, because you only think about yourself, you scrawny ass bitch.
No.
Okay, that's fair. I can't really argue with that.
I sort of mentioned that this is the suicide.
I'm just gonna toss Jim Jar because I don't really give a shit.
Jim Jar's like, yes, I won the bet. Oh wait, no one bets on it. Fuck. He just looks around.
I sort of mentioned that she's kind of playing. Like, there wasn't. No.
You were trying to say? Sorry.
I just mentioned this. I guess she's not wrong there.
Okay.
No, she's not. But I mean, I was more on the side of just winging it, which apparently didn't work.
Yeah, Cat.
Not expect to be asked.
It really didn't.
About frickin' drow families.
Yeah, she turns around to Homura at this point, and she's like, "Yo, girly, is that arm working?"
Not in here.
Yeah, but look. And she points at your arm. You realize that it didn't turn back into fist form. It is, in fact, in Warhammer form. Yes.
Yes.
It'll work.
Need a
well, I guess
hand.
that wasn't for nothing.
Like she just kind of sarcastically says, "Need a hand."
I did that.
Yeah.
First things first, beat his fucking head in.
Who, Jim Jar? Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ginger is like, wait, there's no need for that. Wait, can I bet on how many of them are gonna punch me? I bet on 5. Yeah. Remind me that I bet on 100 gold pieces. Just there's 5. Yes. Okay, continue. You were saying? Oh, right. I was saying, don't beat me up. He winks as he says, "Don't beat me up," and he's like, I got intels. If you don't. He winks again. Beat me up.
I'm gonna look over at Viking, not Tali this time, because apparently I always want to like lean over to Tali. I'm gonna look at Viking. I'm like, with two fingers with the claws out. I'm like, should I just take out his eyes?
Mark that. Raise the bet.
Tongue?
If he takes out my eyes, I will raise for 200. Yes. Okay. Continue. Come on.
If you castrate him, I think it might calm him down. Isn't that how it normally works with dogs?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Dogs?
I would know. I'm a cat person.
Oh, come on. It's not even sarcastic. I'm not a cat person.
I'm saying I'm a cat person.
Sake. He just
Hmm.
looks at you and he just waiting
I
for
misheard
you to
that.
beat him up or else.
I misheard that, and I thought, is it a he or a she?
Jim Jar is a he.
He?
Sorry, it's a
I
he.
thought he said dirty gnome rather than dark gnome.
No, he said deep gnome.
Or deep gnome?
Yeah.
I heard it as dirty gnome.
Okay.
I'm like, well, dirty isn't really a thing. You can always clean up, like trying to passively insult him.
He looks at you. Okay. And he says, he turns around and looks at Suits, who's currently holding his neck still. And he says,
Oh no, I had let go of him
oh,
earlier.
okay. And he turns around to the rest of your group and says, in a pity kind of voice, says, it must be hard to travel with a retarded. I totally get it. There was
Do I know who he's talking about?
there was once in my group. I'm not judging, but he's really that kind.
Before he can finish, I just like fucking
Punch him?
like it's gonna be
Headbutt?
hard. Because, yeah, I'll headbutt. No, I can't
Okay.
because he's so short. I would have to punch him or knee. Knee. I
Okay.
can need him. Knee him, right?
Need him. Okay. Roll for like just attack. Just straight strength check.
Strength?
Just straight strength. Yes. Okay. He kind of tries to dodge, but in midway he kind of caught you kind of caught him with your thigh and kind of crushed his head. Like not actually crushes it, but kind of crushed in a little bit.
Are you doing this to him while he's talking?
Yeah, he's still talking. He's like,
Does he happen to accidentally bite his tongue?
he actually don't, but he's almost so close. He's so close and biting his tongue. He's like, retarded. You know what's and like he got kneed on the face, on the side of his cheek. You see one part of his like tooth just came out. Just yep.
Gross.
And he falls.
Looks like you lost your bet.
He falls.
Nobody punched you.
Yeah, he falls flat onto the ground and he's unconscious. He's just
I pick up his tooth, and any arrows that are still around from our encounter.
those are all crumble into dust. You think that might have something to do with the rocks or the magic that was affecting this area. However,
Okay, I want to grab his tooth.
However, Tully still
I'm gonna
got
grab
the
his
arrowhead.
bowl.
That's
Whatever
the
whatever
only
sparkly
one.
thing that he was passing around.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah. For now, you see like the rest of the group just sits there. You do see, however, the huge like figure you once saw before. He's just sitting there and talking to himself. It's not the orc or the other guy, but a like furry guy you once passed through. You heard him says like, "There's no meaning." Oh yeah.
Well,
Yes.
what did I saw before? Yeah.
Yeah, he just starts talking to himself. And
I want to strip down, like I want to pat him down and like check all of the little crevices. Because this
Jimjar?
bastard is, yeah, he's kind of like a cheat. So I'm guessing he probably keeps his gold in like secret pouches and shit. I'm gonna like go
Okay.
deep.
You try to pat him down. Surprisingly, you don't find anything on him. You are pretty sure you're through. You even touch his private parts, but there's nothing.
That's his private thoughts.
Yes. There's nothing.
While Lycan's off doing whatever, I'm sort of just gonna sort of shuffle around trying to get a better look at some of the other people that we haven't really seen
Okay.
yet.
At first, you see like kind of like a plant-like creature just on the corner side of the prison cell. At first, you think it's just a plant, but you swear to whichever deity you worshipped that it moves once in a while.
That's a nice house plant. It's weird here in a cave, though. Just throwing that one out there.
You all, at this point, when you were saying that, you all heard a voice saying, "Please don't eat me." In
Oh,
your
on
head.
that note,
It's so
in
cute.
your head, it just, yeah, you don't hear it. It just appear in your head, in your mind.
That's what I think. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute.
Okay.
I ignore it.
I jumped back at when I started to hear that, and I say like, "Oh, is that you? Is that you that said that?" I sort of talked to the plant-like thing.
Okay. He's like, "Yes, please, don't eat me. Stew's not tasty. Stew tastes bad. Just please
On
don't
that
eat
note-
me."
But no,
Do they feed
I'm
us?
not. I'm not gonna eat you. I'm not gonna eat you. I'm just looking around. That's all.
Okay.
What's your name?
As you said, do they feed us? You see, like on the bottom of the gate, you see a few like trays just slides into the room. It's exactly the same amount of all of the prisoners.
I'm gonna take mine, and I'm gonna take Jim Jar's. I'm not gonna eat his, but I'm gonna bet him when he wakes up for his food.
Okay.
Nice.
That's
He's
my
still
goal here.
unconscious, lying on the floor. You think he might have popped something because he's not looking very good. Anyway,
Testicle. That's what he popped.
anyway, he's just lying on the floor. Actually, number 9 actually pass his trays towards you guys. He says, "I don't need to eat. Go. You can have mine."
I just grabbed mine.
And
I now have 3 trays, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
he
"Darn
turns
it."
towards you, Viking, and he says, "Probably not a best idea to take his food." Yeah, he's talking to you, Viking.
Oh yeah, but I know as a gambler, I might be able to use it as leverage. I'd be like, "Yeah, you can have your food. Just let's bet on something. I don't know. Who can escape first?"
Well,
Internal
Can I check my
monologue.
food for poison? I don't trust it.
don't. You heard the Durgan lady says, don't worry your scrawny little ass, elf." She's trying to be. It's weird for Durgan trying to be polite. Like, yeah. But she continues saying, "They won't bother poison us. I mean, they still need us for slavery. For God's sake, this place is called Slaves' Pen. What do you expect them to do? Like, just leave us here to rot?"
Makes a lot of sense. The amount of paralytic that I have encountered in the past 24 hours has been too much for a lifetime.
"You and me both, girl. You and me both." And she just
You
turned back
say-
and eating.
Check for poison. I'm already after eating half of my meal by this point. I'm like, "Poison."
What the? Yeah.
Your constitution's fine.
Or you
Just like a piece of
have
bread heading out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
Or you just have a severe diarrhea. I don't know, maybe.
Away.
Anyway, like, yeah. So all of them are eating. The plant-like thing is not gonna eat anything. He's just staying there. Just he drinks a little bit of the water, but he's not eating anything. On the far corner, you now notice the other two that was being quiet. One of them is actually a drow. He's not looking really talkative, so to speak. If you go to the left side of the page, you can see all of them. I'm gonna show you guys all of them. Right. If you go to the far left side of the character sheet of the map, you can see that the drow you see has a like orange kind of eyes, which is weird. Like usually drow have purple eyes. No, sorry, red eyes. Sorry, not purple, red eyes. Any other color will be considered weird and different. This one is actually the plants that was talking to you, and on the first side you see a small, like more slender figure. This one appears to be old. Like he has a tattered rug on his body, and he appears to be really, really old. He just sits there and not talking and just eating his food. Yep.
I when I see the drow that's in here with us, I sort of start shuffling over to him. I start saying like, "Excuse me, you're a drow too, aren't you're a drow too, aren't you? But why are you in? But why are you in here with
he
us?"
holds his head and saying, "Isn't that obvious? Wait, or is it?" He just holds his head like as he tries to answer. Am I a drow? Yes, I am a drow. Or am I? Yeah. He just continues muttering to himself.
So I sort of just I just say like, "Okay then." And
The Durgar lady just continues. Don't mind him. He's been put
Oh my
here
God.
for a few days. Sarith, well, allegedly, she like leans towards you guys and says, "From what I can tell, he seems to be killing his own kind." Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm okay with him killing his own kind.
Hey, as long as it's not
Yeah,
us.
but he claimed he doesn't have any memories of it.
Oh.
Fascinating.
I'm okay with that too.
Do I know anything about that? Have I read anything about that kind of like
loss of memories? There's
loss of memory, like associated, or that would also be associated with like the orange eyes.
Yeah, which direction do you wish to investigate? The connection between orange eyes and the loss of memories, or magic, or anything else? I need a little bit more specific.
The orange eyes and the memory.
So yeah, I don't really get. Do you just wish to like connect the dots on orange eyes and loss of memories? Is that what you want to do?
That, or if I would know anything that would like be like an affliction that would cause that.
For what you know, there are a lot of reasons to cause memory losses, or maybe he's just lying. You don't know. As for the connection between orange eyes and loss of memories, you think that might be the connection. There might be a small connection between it, because normally drows don't look like this. They have red eyes, and that's about it.
I approach him and say, "You know what, buddy? It's okay. We've all had those nights where we had a little too much ale, and we wake up in the morning next to a dark or deep dwarf there thing. Nobody wants to remember that, so it's perfectly cool. What you do on your free time is your own deal."
No, I have shamed my family. I have shamed my kind.
Oh, is that what you guys call that? Yeah, we just call it a good night.
Can I do a medicine check on him?
Okay. Roll a medicine check if you wish to. Okay.
Yeah.
You think first it's definitely not the food. It's definitely not what the drow feeds you guys that caused this. It's definitely something else. Second, you think it's definitely not magical. It's something else. But that's as far as you can get for now, for lack of further information to connect the dots. Yep.
I'm gonna guess that I remember Ravani kind of like looking around at looking for an understanding, and gonna talk to Hamora and see her your arm. Like, well, that's plan one. That's step
That's
one.
hardly a plan.
So-
Yeah, it wasn't really a plan.
Well,
More of an impulse.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the reconnaissance part of our plan, okay?
well, one,
Well, if you do
know
reconnaissance
how to
like
break it.
this,
Like,
I
no,
couldn't
she's
imagine how
right,
you
guys.
live for this long. She just,
He's right. We fucked up.
yeah. See?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I want to come over to Amora and like sit down or get down beside her and have a conversation
Go ahead.
away from everybody else. So I'm like, okay, you break my chains now? Yes or no? With your fist glove thing, Warhammer.
I can try.
You'll need, I'm gonna tell you what you need. You're gonna need someone to help you lift your arm because the arm is fucking heavy. Yep.
Yeah.
And you can't really swing it because it's attached to Hamura. You can let it naturally fall. That is something.
Oh, swing Hamora. Like, she'll just hold it straight. We'll hold her by her legs and just smash down.
The thing about
no,
that is she'll need someone else to help her hold the arm in place. Because, like I said before, the arm is fucking heavy. It's like stupid heavy. Yeah, it only works that well because the magic. Yeah.
So break the chains first, then break the field.
Yeah. I would say what you can do. You can ask. You can like have someone held Hamora's arm high up, like raising her arms, and let it free fall. That will do a normal, like average amount of strength check. But if you do it repeatedly, you'll have it work for. From what you estimate, Hamura, you say that'll probably take about a week or so for it to like repeatedly do it every day to break off the chain. And for one person, yeah.
Sweetie,
What about breaking the magical field?
This is me and her talking still.
Yeah.
Like I get very quiet at this point. I'm like, hey, I know you can heal. You're a good cleric, and I've seen a little bit of healing coming out of you. If I were to break my wrist and slip the cuffs, can you fix that eventually, or am I gonna have like a limp wrist?
Eventually.
Or can I get a sweet arm like you? Like, how's this work? Could you strap my shield onto my stump and just like let me? Because we'll do it to the shield hand. Like, just spitballing here. I need to make sure that you can regrow shit, or put a bone back in there, or pin for that matter.
I don't think right now, but eventually, yeah.
For
That's good
Hamura,
enough. That's
Hamura,
a good enough for me. Yeah,
You-
let's do this shit.
For Hamura, you know that if you like just normally break a hand or something, it will eventually heal. But whether or not your spell power is powerful enough to heal that in the right place, breaking bones is not that easy. You need to
My hands are like,
you need to like shift it into the right place and make sure it grows back into the way it should be. So you don't think with your power can like speed up the process. You think you can speed up the process, but whether or not it will grow back normally or the arm will function normally is beyond your control. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, while the
Cure
discussion
wounds
is
can
going on,
only
I
heal so much. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
like this is one-on-one between just her and I.
Like I'm just describing this as a DM. Like you can try to do this. That's definitely doable.
I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I can set it correctly, and then heal over time.
So I'm gonna look over to the
How many
Durgar
fingers
Oh,
do you need?
eventually.
Like,
lady
Durga
and just
lady?
say,
Can I
Usually-
ask you?
what's
break
your
the thumb.
plan if we were to break out of here? Because
Now
obviously
we're
none of us
talking.
want to be slaves.
Now we're talking.
Just dislocate your thumb.
Yeah. As
Can you
guys
strap the
were still
shield?
talking.
Because we know
Yeah.
using that arm to break chains would just take too goddamn long.
Yeah. You know, I was planning since.
By the time that we get everybody broken, or even one of them, we're probably all gonna be sold. We're dead.
Yeah,
I
it's
now have
probably the case. You know, they're gonna send us to Menzo Brenza, right?
I don't know what that is.
It's
Menzo-
definitely not a good place for anyone to be
Menzo-
there. It's
Menzo
like the
Brenza.
second worst place than the Mind Flayers lair. That's all I'm saying.
Menzo for what? For what's
Brenza.
it? That
Menzo Brenza.
relative?
It's for those of you who are well known to Underdark. You know that this is the place where about the largest amount of drow population resides there. This is one hell of a big city that almost like entirely run by drows.
Definitely don't want to go there. So, what is your plan, Miss Durgar lady, who
Yeah.
name I never
Call me
cared to even
Callista.
ask? Callista.
I'm
I am
of the clan of
Suits.
Black Diamond. Yeah.
Callista Black Diamond.
Yes.
I pull out my
Right.
invisible pen and paper because I'm like,
mental note. Yes. Construct a mental note.
mental note.
Yeah. Ravani, what were you trying to say?
I sort of shuffle up to her and sort of just greet her with like, nice to meet you, Callista. I think.
What was the last
my
name again,
My
Mama?
name's Delaney.
Oh, sorry.
What was her last?
Black Diamond.
What was her last name?
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond.
Yes. Sorry, Ravani, continue.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I think, Callista. My name's Delaney.
Well, she kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, nice to meet you. Well,
So,
under
what-
the circumstances, I wouldn't say it's nice, but hey.
So what exactly did you do to get thrown in here anyway?
That's a fucking long story. I heard that our legendary, from my last name, our family is in search for the stupid ass, like Black Diamonds, who allegedly could suck a wife from the others. Why wouldn't anyone want that? But hey, I'm the one got sent out, and those bitches wouldn't want to do it themselves. So fuck it, I'll do it. But anyway, I was like on my journey. I heard that Neverwinter has something for sale. I was trying to figure out a way to disguise myself to go there and just rob the diamonds. Oh, sorry, purchase the diamond from those of you who has the possession. However, as I reached to Neverwinter, I was found by the guards of fuck it. I couldn't just take it anymore, so I tried to hide within this layers, and who knows? The drows are hiding on the corner and just wiggly baby too. I'm here.
I want to approach Tolly and ask her. So we now have part of an arrow and a tooth, and can you make like a flamethrower or anything with this? Like,
are you Tony Stark? Can we make the reactor? Yeah, whatever it's called.
Oh, I
just
would love to.
like prison.
sorry, an anvil and a forge,
Yeah.
and
Can we make a Mark 1 just out of this everything?
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Nope.
make a
Cave
lock
scraps.
pick with the bolt head and the hammer.
That I'll rule that's doable, because for Tully and Viking, you both know how lockpicks works to the details.
Yeah.
So I'll say
I just throw
And
it
I've
at
been, like-
shit and it works.
Yeah, and I've been spending like half an hour inspecting the locks, being
Yeah.
like, how does this work?
It's
so-
about the most complex lock you have ever seen. There's three like mechanics like lock onto each other. When one fails, the other two just automatically locks in, and you have to unlock all three of them simultaneously.
So when you said Homura has to spend a week trying to beat at the chains, is that the steel chain or
The steel chain, definitely the steel chain. Yeah, her arm couldn't break the adamantium, Like that's just not possible.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's stronger. Like the adamantium that shackled on your wrist is stronger than her arm. Yeah, I'm just
By
saying.
the way, I was still
Why I
waiting.
want-
I was still kind of waiting for her
Yeah, she's
for
gonna.
Callista's
Yeah,
an-
Callista's
answer for
like,
what her
gonna
plan
tell-
is.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm just resolving the issues before. So for Callista,
Okay.
she's like, yeah, you notice that. Well, you were just here. You were just having your sweet dreams. You couldn't have noticed. But anyway, they hauled us up to the far side and do some normal fucking chores for them, like just getting a bucket of water to the other place and dump it. You know, they just love to see us suffer. It's more of a way they can have fun instead of actually doing anything. Yeah. And along the way, there's 3 outposts along the way. And there's far end on the far side, which the gates leads to deeper into the Underdark. My plan is to run the moment they left. There's a normal like routine of like dispatch, like just circles around the area, try to do routine routes. So at that time, the layer currently possess 17 like total, like sorry, 20 total drows, excluding the spiders, the quackathaws, the other nasty creatures that resides here. There's 20 of drows. Half of them will go on a supply run every 2 weeks. My plan is to avoid them when the time comes, when they are on supply run. We manage to escape through the left side, the downside of the exit. We probably make a scene.
Are you talking
know,
about
Quackathaws,
this-
they're
this right here?
extremely tends to fire. Maybe throw a little fire inside, make a scene. A lot of them will go fetch, and we can go escape. How about that?
Well, obviously you could tell we're good at making a scene.
Yeah, but
Well,
not so
if-
good at making an escape. You know, for the record,
No.
I'll dump your sorry ass here if you like get him incapacitated. Just for the record, you can do the same to me. I'm fine with that. It's every person for themselves.
I respect that.
I give Callista this little grin, and I say like, well, if we can get out of the anti-magic field, I can certainly help with the fire part.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh,
They have us on labor every day for a quarter of the day, so it's fine. We'll get our chances out. It's just the part is how to get into that fucking scrawny ass bitch's room, and you know that she's telling about the high priest says, and get my gears back.
Oh yeah, we definitely need our gear back.
Well, for you guys, I assume they're piled up in the armory. For mine,
Oh, our stuff?
there's
Oh.
magical weapons. Like she's a bitch, and she loves herself with some adventurous magical items. They'll probably be there.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
definitely want to get my little rod back.
Okay.
And I gotta get my little buddy back.
Okay. She's like not really trusting because like to her you get this feeling that to her you guys are just lowly
That's good.
low level adventurers who doesn't know how deep of a shit you guys are in. So she's like not really trusting you guys. She's like, okay, fine by me.
I say, I assure you, sir. Sir,
She's a
ma'am.
lady. Yeah. She's
Oh,
like,
ma'am.
when
Still says
she
sir.
when you talk to her and says sir, she's like,
I, sir, yeah. I assure you,
bitch,
sir.
bitch, sir.
My
You don't
ability
know there's a woman here?
to be
What's wrong with you,
persuasive,
racist?
and I'm
Like,
like
He's
starting to
he's an
untie my
idiot, but it's
pants,
fine.
Gender racist? Whatever.
is
whatever you guys call it,
uncomparable
just
to not.
discriminate
Like I'm
people.
completely over talking to her, like not
Yeah.
even paying attention that she's freaking out.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
like,
not freaking out. She's
are
kind of bitch
unparalleled.
slapping you with her words. She's like, yep.
I have this effect on women. Just ask my companions.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
imagine
really
you guys are
terrible.
like-
And at this moment,
He's an idiot.
Callista turned around and says, "Yeah, you know what Ginger was talking about? I was with him once in a while. Yeah, I get the feeling of having a retarded in your group. Don't worry about it. This happens. Except, well, Jim Jar is also a retarded, so you know."
Oh, I can tell.
Strength check, right?
Like you can,
Roll
like-
for it. Roll for it. Roll a strength check. You ask for it. You roll for it. Okay. Fuck.
Another knee.
No, she rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
So as
He
you
won't
try
hit
to
her.
knee her and you're trying to speak, she actually sucker punched your balls. It's a fucking natural
Yeah!
20. It's a fucking natural 20. What can I do? It's a fucking natural 20.
It's a dwarf
If you
thing.
want to
Right,
see,
at least
it's
fall
over
on
here.
her or
It's
something.
a fucking
I'm
natural
just
20.
gonna sit there
I'm
and just do
definitely
a slow
not
clap.
lying.
I'm gonna cheer for her. Just gonna start cheering. Yeah!
like
Yeah, Hamura, the crotch puncher, is like,
the
yeah.
nutcracker. Yeah.
to be well, to
Say
be
hello
fair,
to my little
I
friend.
do actually cringe when Viking gets hit in the balls.
Well, you don't cringe. Ravani is a girl, so you don't really cringe.
You don't cringe, so you don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, but Suits, I would say Suits definitely cringes for a
Oh,
little bit. So yeah.
Do I take any
Every
Oh, I
male
would
in
cringe
the
a
room.
little, but I'm still gonna continue with the slow clap.
Well,
Yeah.
I at least sort of wince a bit on his
Yeah.
behalf.
Okay. Yeah, it's not the best behalf, but
Do I take any damage?
no. I would say
You take
no.
2 psychic
You
damage.
take 10 points of ego damage for your ego.
That hurts the most. It cuts
Yeah.
real deep.
It nearly
Like,
killed you.
Well,
Callista is
yeah.
now one of my
you're,
favorite people.
You're
in this
hurting
room.
on the ground. I will say that much. You're hurting. You're curled up into a ball, and you hurt a lot.
Well, now
and she's like-
now that's out of the way.
Yeah. She's like,
Continue
"Yeah,
with your
don't worry,
plan."
Don't worry. I totally get it. Totally get it. Now.
Not cool. Guys never hit guys in the nuts. As I'm like trying to catch my breath.
Well, you had it coming. She just shrugs.
Oh no, he's had this coming since we met him. Probably further before that.
Probably. Yep. Like, yeah, no, we just wait. Have our strength and have some sleep, and we'll just wait.
Oh yeah, by the way,
our
do I regain that spell slot? I used?
Yeah. You take. Well, you don't take you didn't take a short rest. It's more like you're
Oh.
incapacitated. If you wish to.
He
take a
just
short-
laid down.
Yeah, you just laid down. You didn't take a
Or
rest.
snap.
You were frozen in place.
forced
That's
nap.
hardly a rest. So I would say if you all wish to take a short rest for an hour, you can totally do that and recover some hit points you lost. Yeah, that will be probably
before-
a good time.
Before I rest, I start sort of shuffling over to the guy to the really old looking guy.
Okay,
Yeah, this guy.
okay. Don't worry. I know.
I sort of ask like, so what about you? What's your story?
What can an old man do? In the
I only
world
had
like
7 I
this?
needed to regain.
Nice. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
the old fella continues saying, "Hi, I'm Tudo, Tudo, that's his name," and he says, "Well, what can an old Darrow do in a place like this?" You notice that he mentioned the word Darrow. So
We know what that is?
that is a race. For those of you who are familiar with Underdark, you know that it's also part of the Dwarven race. It's just another branch of the Duergar. It's an even more like murderous, homicidal, like murderous psychopath race. Like, if you think Duergar is aggressive enough, Darrows are beyond aggressive. They are aggressive. Sorry. So
I didn't notice a pattern.
Yeah, it's hard to see someone, especially a Daryl, like talk in a calm tone. Like they usually they just yell, kill, and just kill, try to kill everyone. And if you know a little bit of Underdark, you'll know that that's because they were once ruled by the Mind Flayers. They suck their brains for breakfast and use their mental power to overpower the Daryls to under their command. That caused them to like degraded and into this kind of crazy species that they are now. But he appears to be the sane one. Like he just have his sanity. And he continues saying, our kind has been chased down by the Drows, by Mind Flayers, by all the creatures that dwells in this darkness. I'm but a humble scholar on a trip to search for greater knowledge, to cure my kind. However, the Drows doesn't care. They don't. They just grab me and enslave me against my will.
I'm gonna walk up next to him. Say,
Okay.
I can respect. I respect that pursuit for knowledge, for the benefit of your own kind. From one scholar to another, you at least have my respect.
He nods at you, and he says, "But, my boy, you still have a lot to learn. It is not wise.
Don't we all?
It is not wise to charge off like this. Learning more knowledge doesn't necessarily mean you have to be living in the ivory tower. You need to know more, to see more. Street smart is also one kind of smart. It's something you can only learn by experience, not by books. If you wish for your journey, and I wish for your journey to last longer, you should be more careful." And he just nods at you. Yep. At this moment, you heard the faint child voice in your head again, and he's like, if everyone's okay, I'm just gonna move to the wall. Please don't eat me. Stool's not tasty. Stool tastes bad. Just please don't. Just yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. No one's
And
gonna
the
eat
plant
you.
creature just moves towards the side. Okay. For those of you who wishes to know what they are, okay. Okay. What the hell? Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I was looking at a paladin guide.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And that was the guide.
If you can make a Jimmy Camel paladin, I'll say hell yes,
Oh,
please.
sorry, but that was just
or Jimmy
funny.
Fallon, like either of your choice. They are my both of my favorite. Like,
Oh, that's too
hosts.
funny.
Just
How awesome! Like
Yeah,
I would
how
actually
awesome
be
that
a lawful good paladin with performance
yes. With
to
performance.
make a character like that. Let's just
You
yeah,
have high
sorry.
charisma. I'll give you that. You're definitely high charisma.
sorry.
Anyway,
It's in
yeah.
Discord if you didn't see
Yeah,
it.
I saw it. It's awesome. Anyway, you guys are not doing anything, just having a rest at this
Yeah,
moment.
During our rest, I'm just gonna just look around and try and see if I can just inspect where the anti-magic field is,
Okay, so
I'm trying to figure
or
out
what runes are.
which finger
But
would
in
I
a
be
way that I
best
could.
off without.
okay. So
Just gotta dislocate your thumb, man.
yeah,
How
one
you
at a
get
time.
out?
One at a time.
Get out
Okay.
tough.
Okay. For Viking, as you are trying to dislocate your thumbs, you notice that
It comes off.
no, it's hard to do so without breaking the interior of because you're not skilled in doing this. I would say if you wish to break off your thumb
Oh,
and
jeez.
not like not dislocate your thumb. Sorry, dislocate, not breaking it off, and not breaking it off during the process. You'll have to make 3 Constitution save to delicately remove it, like from the socket.
Could I confer with Hamura through
Homura's like,
medicine
no.
on how to disconnect or dislocate it better?
Yeah.
Because she's kind of a skilled healer, so she would know how to relocate it. You know what I mean?
True. For Homura's pass, I'll rule that she have advantage on checking to see if locating one's like body parts. She's so happy of yes, I finally get to break Viking's thumb. Possibly something else.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah. And for suits, as you're out there doing what they're doing, crazy stuff, you look
Is this a
around.
medicine check?
Yeah, it's a medicine check. You'll have this. You'll have advantage on medicine check. Okay. So, from your past experience, you know that the proper way to dislocate a thumb is through a series of like delicate, kind of moves. And judging by the width of Viking's hands, it's gonna be really hard. And if possibly wrong moved, it will end up that he will permanently lose his thumb. Yeah. Or at least before you know any spells that can regrow body parts in the proper place. That's the worst part. Because if dislocated wrong and not breaking it, it's worse than you actually broke the thumb off. Because if it's wrong, if it's healed in the wrong place, your hands will not be useful. And
Well, and my goal with her would be dislocate and relocate.
yes, so that will be double the difficulty. I'll let you know this, since it's like off the chart hilarious. The original difficulty will be 18 on simply dislocating your thumb. Just dislocate it. That's the first part. You have to relocate it in the proper place. That will double the difficulty at a difficulty rate of 36. That is
So
because you're
beyond
not trained.
impossible.
Yeah,
That
that's
means
near impossible because you're not trained. If, like a rogue, let's say if a rogue has been trained in her past to fit through tiny holes, then this person, I'm not saying who, might have lower the difficulty. But for you,
Okay, so what I'm hearing,
it's gonna be
if she
really
dislocates
fucking hard.
my thumb first and screws it up, she's learning. So if she did it to say like Tully, then it's a normal, pretty easy thing to do.
It's not
she's
pretty
learned
easy. It's
it.
still hard. Like,
Yeah, but
The
she's
difficulty-
learning through mistakes, right?
yeah.
Okay,
difficulty
Jar Jar's
will
unconscious. Go try it on him
less.
first. Or Jim Jar.
Let's call him Jar Jar. No, just kidding.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah, Jim Jar is like,
Watch Jim Jar's like Robin's like one PC that he worked the hardest on. It's like this whole backstory, a family, like several quest lines that he's involved
Jim
in.
Jar's
got
been faking.
And then we just kill him in a cell.
unconscious.
yeah. You can actually.
Jim Jar's
do that
faking
if you-
unconscious. He's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? No.
I'll say the pain will bring him back to consciousness. However,
I'll sit on his chest. It's okay.
yeah. However, that will take a few tries. You can definitely lower the difficulty. That's for sure.
He's got lots of fingers and 2 hands.
True, but the
Oh my
the
God.
really finger you need is the thumb, and he only has 2. That's the part you need.
He's
to
got 2
work on.
thumbs and
Yes.
could not probably do this.
Well, you can.
This
You can
guy.
try to practice on him. I wouldn't say no. You can try to practice on him and lower the difficulty. Judging by
Only if he was willing.
Yeah. judging by how you roll.
Yeah, I bet I'm sure he'll make a bet on it.
Probably. If
I'm
he wants
totally.
it.
I'm. I still have his tray of food. I bet you can't have your thumbs dislocated. Food.
And put it back in place for your food.
Put it back in place.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the
I'm just gonna
chaotic
look around the
part
cell
I
first.
love to watch. Yeah.
Does anyone know how to dislocate their phone?
Not me. I sort of
know.
look at
Anybody
you
here?
really
happen
weirdly.
to know how to dislocate
So-
somebody's.
I'm doing this very horribly,
assume
but
no.
I'm like, Jim
Okay.
Jam is still unconscious, and it's like, I'm totally faking. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and dislocate my thumbs.
Yeah.
I agree. Becky is totally gonna be good at this. Yeah, you got this, girl. Go for it. Doesn't move at all.
It doesn't even sound like that.
True. Oh,
Hence my horrible performance.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god. Anyway, as all the others are frowning at you, at least those who are watching, you heard like a sound like coming from afar, and you heard like a squeaking sound, and then a few elvish, a few like drow sound like saying in elvish. For those of you who know, they're saying, "It's the Vorks again! Defend the outpost!" And that will be it. That's what you heard, at least.
Oh, I thought you were saying like that's the session. I'm like,
No. We still
Dude.
have a few moments left. I'm gonna judge you how you do by ending the session before you finish your rest and before the slavery begins. So, don't worry.
Slavery?
Yeah,
Like,
how the drows practice their slavery stuff.
by the way, did I ever figure out like what would be a good point to hit that would break the anti-magic field?
You assume that along the line there's like a few knots you need to break. Like, judging by your past experience, Riveni, you're also in part of this because you know there are lines within the walls. You assume that the walls are made out of some kind of strong materials. They are stones, but they are stronger than normal stones. They're even stronger than iron. However, they are not as strong as adamantium. So you could, in this case, use your shackles to try to remove the rocks. However, you assume that the line is buried deep. The knots, the ruins are buried a little bit deeper than you think. It's about almost 1 foot into the wall. 1 foot, sorry, almost 1 foot into the wall. Yeah. So it'll probably take about a week or two to get into the walls. However, by your examination, you assume they are 15 of the knots. You only need to break 3 of them to remove the effect of anti-magic shield. So that is an option.
Okay,
That is part of the option.
probably just as least. That's probably even more unlikely than breaking just chains.
I
So
I do relate that to Zeus.
Okay, you probably relay that to everyone, I assume, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would probably be like, yeah, it's probably going to be about 3 weeks if we just gonna try.
At this point, number 9 overheard, and he says, "If only I got my gauntlets." And he sighs.
If only I had my magic. Then that would just be a paradox, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, out of the ragtag band of people we have here,
Mhm.
who is the most proficient in survival? Have I seen anybody do anything survivally related?
You can't tell. Like, from just appearance, probably the Durga lady, Callista, and
Oh no, no, I mean like Hamura or
oh,
Ravani.
in your
that kind of
group, in your group, right?
stuff. Yeah.
Judging by how far you've been traveling together, maybe Hamura, because she's tough, and
So I want to go over to Hamura
yeah,
and be
because
like,
she's a cleric. Also, maybe Tali, because she, due to her past trainings as a rogue, she can probably survive longer. And because the story she shared with you on how she break into families and just steal stuff.
so I
Probably.
call over Tully and whatnot, and I'm like cuddle group cuddle, you know, because I'm coming up with crazy like sword chuck style fucking shit to do, right? Too stupid. I'm like, and I'm like, look back at the plant thing. I'm like, okay, girls, if we were to fucking, can you like rub two
Yes.
sticks together from that plant fucking thing?
As you said, girls.
Start a fire.
As you said, girls, you heard a child voice says, yes? Well, I'm a mechanoids don't have really genders, but eh.
You said there was a plant thing in the corner.
Yeah, that's the voice you heard.
The plant thing is talking to you.
Talking to actually all of you. Says,
Can we
yes.
still
Talking
burn
to
it?
you in your mind.
Why?
I like ignore it because
Why
I'm
would
used to
you-
hearing shit.
Okay.
I'm
but
like,
others
we cause
all
it-
hear this voice as well. So
Yeah. But I'm like, can we like light her on fire and like would that weaken the chains? Like if we were to try and do
No.
a smelting thing here?
You heard
This is why I'm like,
a
oh,
like,
no.
scream in your
Yeah.
mind, and you swear to God you feel a shock wave coursing through your mind. You don't take damage, but your mind is suffering like tremendous pain because
not the first time I've been fucked by a woman
yeah.
mentally. I mean,
That's all kinds of wrong. Oh my God. The game is PG. Just restrain yourself a
We
bit.
we have broken that PG
Yeah,
rating
we have broken that
so
PG
long
Too
rating.
many
ago.
times.
Anyway,
Yes.
it's fine. It's fine. It's past that now. Anyway, just
I will try
spoilers,
to
not
look like
PG. Just
like emotional
Yeah.
damage. It's like, oh god.
yeah.
It's just like a new thing at the very beginning. It's like this is adult people talking about adult content. You have been warned.
Yeah. You have been warned.
I
Whisper.
reply with I really don't think fire's gonna work on any of these chains.
Yes, definitely not
Yeah.
on me. And you heard the
Is it-
voice continue saying, yelling kind of
And
in your
it
mind.
couldn't get nearly hot enough.
I don't
But-
know that much. I'm just I'm
I'm
spitballing here. I want to
trying.
make sure.
Stool, don't light
Shut up.
fire. Please don't light Stool up. Please.
I will not light you on fire, nor will I let anyone else light you on fire.
Thank you. And
I just don't
Stool
like
just,
being-
Why not me?
you see the
Prisoner.
plant just moves towards you and kind of gives you a rub on the side, on the arm.
What?
Yeah, just gently rubs you on the arm, just with his.
I made a
like,
plant
body.
friend.
Yeah.
Pat, pat, pat.
I see this thing and I'm like, holy shit, judo chop. Kind of like getting ready. Like I don't know how to take this thing. I haven't seen it before.
Badass.
Even though the
plant.
chain shit in the
Bad.
way.
Stool don't like. Stool.
Does
don't
this
like.
thing actually look like a stool?
No, that's his name. That's her name, actually. That's her name.
Yeah, but is this her, like how tall is this thing?
It's about your height. It's really tall.
Huge.
It's huge.
So that means it's like slightly taller than me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, true. It's a huge plant. As hard as
So
it's trying to cover itself, it's a huge plant.
I like try and knock it, like see if it's hard. Like-
You sense kind of soft, kind of the skin, or what you assume is skin, is kind of soft, but like inner part is like a little bit harder, and there are a lot of like tiny holes on it.
Since
Like-
I haven't seen one of these before, like I kind of like, does it smell?
No, it doesn't. It's like
Just
plants with spores or split.
I get up to it, I'm like,
Well, you. The
There's
only
no
smell you
smell.
can smell is the stench of the whole slave's pen. Well, remember, you guys don't have anywhere to go to bathroom for, so that is.
Oh yeah, by the
something.
way, like right, like during this conversation, I'm just gonna interject with all of them and be like, did anybody else notice that there's somebody attacking these guys? And
Yeah.
this is probably a good time, if any.
Like that. Is that what the yelling was about? Oh no, I didn't really.
It sounded like somebody like they're defending the place from somebody attacking.
They're under
Did I
attack.
catch the name?
Yeah.
Of what was attacking them?
I would have translated, right?
Yeah, you would. It's Vorks. VROK. Vorks.
Orcs?
Vorks. Vorks. Vorks.
Do I know what that is?
Do you have knowledge of Abyssal?
Of Abyssal?
Yes.
Not that I know of.
Any one of you speaks Abyssal? Nope. Then you
Nope.
wouldn't. It's plain and simple. You wouldn't. Okay.
Okay.
The best you can assume that there are some monsters. Oh my god.
Goodness gracious.
Stu is like kind of
Um.
tries to wiggle away from you. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna look over at Callisto and I'm like, good time as any.
Well, if someone's gracious enough to pull the lever, I mean, hell yeah. But do you see the gate being lifted? No? Then we're cool.
At that point.
Could we just formulate a plan potentially to lift the gate from the inside?
I'm all ears. Do you have anything long enough to stretch out,
No.
to grab the pulley, to like try to move it, try to give it enough pull to lift the gate? If you have, I'm all ears. I'm on board. Like, is there anything? No? Then we're cool.
Do we actually have anything?
Because I feel like I could slip my cuffs, but will they fit through? Could I slip the cuffs and then ring toss through the lever and pull?
Did you slip through the cuffs already? No.
No, I haven't slipped them. Do I know if they'll fit through the grates, the bars?
That
Will that
is
work?
gonna be a little bit hard.
I'll check it.
Because the bars are really tight. You can try to measure it. It will fit to an extent. The chains, however, are gonna stuck for a bit.
Short range.
Yeah. Plus, you can't control the outer. You can try to throw it across the bar. However, it's gonna be really hard to try to attach it to the pole. Yeah.
Begin nightmare
Is there a
difficulty.
dog on the other side of the bars that has the setting in its
At this
mouth?
point, you heard barking. No, just kidding. Pirates of Caribbean style. Just a dog just walked past. Just
If only.
if only.
Do we have guards at the moment?
No, currently there's no guard at the gate. You
I
assume
mean, we could use
fighting
our
off-
clothes. We could tear up our clothes, tie up something that's heavy on the end.
When you
Ring
say
through the
that, I'm
bars and
already
then wrap
starting
it
to take my
around.
pants off.
Oh my.
I wish I could be mad about that, but actually that could help
Yeah.
for once. And I really
Oh,
regret
you
saying
want these?
that.
I was already just taking my pants off.
The
Yeah.
Calista is like, do you mean me to punch him again? I would love to.
We can do that when it's a less opportune when we have more time.
Now is a good
I
time
look-
as any.
I look at her very seriously and I'm like, you won't like me when I'm naked.
Yeah, you're
He
right.
does tend to cause his most destruction naked.
Why? Why would I like it when you're naked? Like, that just.
He sets his junk on fire. It's gross.
Yeah, he slapped a hobgoblin in the face with his flaming junk. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
Haven't you heard the Bard's Tale yet? Like, come on.
Oh,
I'm asking our craftiest people, who are the people that are more adept at building things. Is this a feasible idea?
For Hamura.
Use it.
For Hamura. You know that everything is doable. Everything is definitely doable. It's gonna work if it works. However, it's gonna be one hell of a craft. In
I mean,
mechanic wise, you will have to do crafting. Let me see how crafting works. That is some part
Because
I never expect. So I would say
if we make it, we can have our strongest person, or actually, if we make it, we can get our most dexterous person to manage to get it like
First of
grappled,
all,
hooked around something
I'll say this. First of all,
chain, and then potentially
you
have our
will
strongest person
need-
pull.
you will need a sleight of hand check to try to slid it out of the bar. That will be, I assume,
Which
some-
would be
me.
our
yeah,
Yeah.
Charlie or Suits, whoever is gonna do it. However, it's not there.
Sleight of
It's not
hand.
there yet. However, you need to craft
me.
the item first. The difficulty will be high. Let me just put it this way. You can, however, have advantage on the roll. I will say for Homura, that's about 1d20 plus, judging by your past experience. I'm making this up along the way. So judging by your past experience, I will roll that you have +3 for crafting. So you can roll 1d20 plus 3 and have advantage on that roll.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I just put a caveat to that as well? If you fail, you destroy my pants.
She'll destroy
Just-
your pants either way. So, yeah, another wasted
But
natural 20.
A natural
on
20
animal
would be
handling.
like, yeah, no. It was very important. I didn't ruin these. Here, have them back.
All right, here we
Here
go.
we
I guess.
You got this.
She tries to craft it with the arrowhead.
It's hard
and
with
the
one
tooth.
hand.
Yeah, with one hand. Yeah, that's significantly disadvantage, but I'll rule that.
Could we have said that one of us was helping her?
No. She already have advantage.
She already
So
got the
roll again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do.
Uh,
Damn it.
Yep. Sadly, no. With that, she kind of crafts out like a bedsheet, kind of how Rapunzel tried to escape the tower, ties her like hairs together, that kind of pants rub around together, and
Can I just ask something?
don't think it'll work. Go ahead.
How are you calculating that? 11
Uh,
plus 3. What's the plus 3 from?
I would say originally
Plus
she
three.
has +2 because it's from her background. That's what I gave her from the background.
Yeah, but what stat are you using?
I'm not using
Make
anything.
up
A
No.
background
making
plus
this
a
up.
proficient.
I'm making
bonus.
this up along
Well, no.
the way.
So, like,
she's proficient in
these
crafting.
tools-
Yes. That
These
is why,
tools.
Yeah. That is why I'm giving remind you guys now, you don't have any tools on your hand. That is why it's making this exceptionally difficult to make. She's only doing this with one hand, I remind you, with little tools, only an arrowhead and a tooth. That's all you guys
Honestly,
have.
all I can imagine, all I imagined it was literally her tying an arrowhead to a piece of string. It's about that's about as complex as it was.
You guys were asking about something strong enough to pull. So a string will not be enough.
Yeah, it being a knot that would be
Yes.
on
It will
there that
break,
would be strong enough.
like midway, or not even midway. It'll break once you pull it. So
And
I
since none of us
assume
has
she's
kids,
tying
we
up-
can't braid.
Yeah. So I
Well, if we
assume she's tying
can get it up
pants
enough
together.
for Vikeen to get underneath it, or one of the two, or even our orc friend that's in there with us to help lift it up to get us out of there. One of us smaller people out of there to get on the other side and start pulling it.
The thing is, currently, it's not about how many people are helping pulling this thing. The pulling is the easy
Oh, no.
part. The hard part is
I know, I'm not-
crafting something sustainable to hold the strength you guys are pulling. That's the hard part. That's why I roll Homura has a +3 because she's only using one hand. She although she have past knowledge, she's currently have no tools to support her doing stuff like that. So
Could we have figured that what's her name?
Callista?
Callista was potentially helping her because
Yeah, that's why she has advantage on. That's the reason she has advantage. You guys are all helping. That not
just
only
rolled shit,
counters
guys.
off the disadvantage, that also grants her the advantage on doing stuff. Well, but mechanically wise, I'll say you guys can try that every day, once every day.
But this is the moment.
I think a flamethrower would have been better.
True.
Oh,
If
so
you guys
much.
have the materials, you can. But it's gonna be exceptionally difficult. Like I said before, I'm not lying. It's gonna be difficult because you don't have anything else. Callista, upon watching your chaotic crafting, she's like, for crying out loud. The Vorks attack almost every day. They're on a daily basis. It's like something's drawing them here. Like, you're showing me he's junk just because you can craft it, and so with no tool, with zero tools, just to you surface creatures are weird. I mean, no wonder.
To be honest,
why
this is a
we
better
hired
reason than
him.
usual for him to have his junk out. So we're on a win
Yeah,
there.
it was gonna come out eventually.
Don't you
Yeah.
judge me. Nothing to do that right.
Oh, we're not judging you. We're just assuming that you're gonna have your junk out at some point.
Yeah, Callista sighed and says, just wait for a few hours, okay? At least.
Oh yeah, if we waited for a few hours, he would also have just been stripped naked, sleeping.
What's impressive,
I'm really
which nobody
impressed.
has.
I'm really impressed. You guys haven't killed him yet. Like, if I were in
Me
your
too.
shoe, I would definitely
too.
smite him.
No. So what's impressive, and nobody has caught on, I managed to get my pants off around the leg iron.
Yeah, I know.
I just assumed we ripped it off of him. Just ripped it
No,
off.
they came off whole. It was like, magic trick.
Oh my god.
It's those pants with the
Taking
snaps on the
a moment to
side.
think about it, like, wait, how did you get your pants off?
Tearaway pants.
Yeah,
Oh,
terrible.
Hey,
young apprentice. Maybe someday I'll teach you my secrets. The suits.
I don't want to know your secrets at all.
That's trade secrets.
Well, yes,
Like
I
the
kind of.
Hulk.
God,
They just rip it off.
do you want to know your secrets? But I don't want to know your secrets at the same time. It's my name, but it's.
Anyway.
Ah, never mind.
They
Heard
can
that.
be tearaway
One
pants.
too many
They will.
secrets, okay? Just
That's a forbidden secret I don't want to know about.
Yeah. At this moment, as you guys are arguing whose secret is the best, Adrel just came upon you guys and says, "It's time. Out. Everyone out." And starts to open the gate.
I want to rush him.
He's
With no
pointing-
pants on,
the
you're
other
kicked
guy
out.
is pointing his weapon on you.
Mm.
Do you still wish to rush him? Okay, I'll take that as a
Never
no.
mind.
And
Yeah, that's
the
what
door
I thought.
is like carefully opened. As you can see, there are about 4 of them, like standing right outside the doorway, and they point their weapons at you and gesture you to move along.
Who's the young one? Wait.
You notice that one of them is, even for Drow, is exceptionally handsome. He looks down at the guards, who are apparently the guards, and says, "Worms, listen. I'm sure your master, when Lady Mizram is not here, I will be your master at this point. All of you should indulge in my pleasure and lift your daily chores, tedious chores, whatever commands I give you guys. If you fail to obey, you'll get an arrow in the head. Or you'll get feed to the Driders, or you'll get feed to the ooze. Depends on my mood. If I'm happy, I'll maybe sacrifice you to the loaf. So, are we all clear?
I
You farted,
grew-
I noticed.
I grumpily sort of mutter acknowledgement.
Okay. You notice that he's not caring. If you fart or anything, he just doesn't care. He's standing far away and he doesn't care. Just take them to the other side.
Take me to the other side. I don't know.
Nice.
Don't know where I was going with that one.
Rent a slave? Like, is that what we are
Yeah, you
right
guys are
now?
currently slaves.
We just get rented out.
I'll go first,
Oh
but
my
I want to make a performance check.
Mhm.
Not perception, performance check to like do it the most sexily way possible, being
you're-
half naked. Just like
with your junk hanging in midair, drows are taking a step back, and they point their weapons at your junk and says, "Cover it up, or say goodbye to it permanently."
Ooh.
Do it! God, for all of us.
The drows are a little bit confused and look at each other and it's like,
You'd be
okay,
doing us a favor if you
say
actually did
so,
it.
and they're ready to launch. What would you do? You have 1 second to do anything. Try to avoid this fate.
Put your pants on.
I don't have pants to put on.
You have actually you have a few
No,
cloth.
Hamura took them.
No, you have a few
Just
cloth
cloth,
on
you
the
can wrap
floor
around.
that Hamura crafted. It's not a pants, but it's something to cover it up. If you wish to pick it up and cover yourself, I'll give you the chance. Or if you can dodge or you can run like a crazy person, I will allow it.
I'll
Anything you
bend
do, I'll
over.
allow it at this point.
like, but intentionally like presenting my ass to them
Okay, so you bend over and
to like pick up
present
the shit.
your
Yeah.
yes. So you bend over and present your ass towards the drows. The drows are like, ooh, just,
Put.
just
Right.
yeah. It's just they just sure at this point the commander is already inside, so he's not seeing all this, but yep, the other guards are like, disgusting. Yeah, and
Okay.
they watch.
But he's in Azamar, so they're like, oh.
Really. You
Oh.
think because you showed your junk. Yeah, Callista's like
Gross, but fascinating.
Callista's like this. Just
That kind of distraction what you're after?
yeah.
Okay, is this
I
Alright.
think no. I just sort of let out this sort of weary sigh as this sad scene plays out.
Okay. Okay.
We're all just really embarrassed for
Yeah,
him.
at this point.
okay? I'll so I
Yeah.
want to go ahead of everybody. I'll go first now in my loincloth.
For those of you who are staying behind, you can hear clearly number 9 saying, "What have I signed myself into?"
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought when I first met this guy.
I poke my head around this corner
Just sighs.
as we're going this way. I'm like, "You guys coming?" As he said, "No, I'm kidding."
Yeah. So, they kind of moves towards you along the edges. You see the waterfall, like on one side of the bridge. So they escort you, alongside. There's actually like a ledge over the side, so you all are escorted.
Do we see the bottom of the waterfall?
You do actually. You don't see the bottom of the bottom, but you see in midway there are a huge web that's weaved along the east post. Like the web are so tight and thick, you assume that if you are not like intentionally trying to avoid the webbing, you will land it on it. That's probably why the drow was not dead. It's because he fall onto the web. And judging by the giant spider you guys saw earlier, that's probably their work. So, as you guys are all like one at a time, you
Jim Jar's awake?
what?
Oh yeah, Jim Jar's
Yeah,
awake.
Jim Jar's definitely awake. He's like, What happened? It's like, oh my nose.
You lost a
Oh,
bet.
Fuck.
Fork
Oh,
up the
my
100.
tooth. Oh fuck. Wait, did someone punch me? Oh yes, yes. Was it?
Yeah,
was
but
it,
you
hold
lost-
on,
you-
hold on. Let me guess. Was it the Asmire? Was it the gray fella? Was it him?
How much are you betting on it?
Yeah, I
I'll
bet on
buckle up
him.
and say it was me.
I bet 50
Yeah.
gold point, 50 gold pieces. Yes.
You lost.
And he turns around.
It was the
Oh, wait. Really? Oh, shite.
Yep.
Fucking.
I'm like
proud
I'm like you owe me 50.
We're not on a bet. You and I don't see you pay up. Well, we bet when we bet, we have to.
I never bet
we
on
have stuff.
anything.
Yeah, but what's in it? I don't receive anything from you. If you give me anything, we probably could set up a new bet. Hold on, what would you like to bet? Any one of us falls into the pit?
You jump
I
into
will bet you
the
on
waterfall.
That. I can try to push you, and if you don't fall into the pit, I will give you 50 gold points. Or 50 gold pieces. If you fall into the pit and
I'd rather
devoured by the
I'd rather
ooze-
just throw you into the waterfall. Anyways, let's move on.
Okay. Well, anyone else? Anyone take the bet? I can shove the cat if you guys want. Okay, no one? Fine.
I'm mentally thinking I'd love to see suits in the water, but no.
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
shit,
say this
water.
out
Yeah,
loud.
Let him do that.
Awesome. We can bet on the cat drowning in the water. How long do you think it takes for him to drown? 30
gonna
minutes?
hiss at
1
him.
hour? He's like, I'll take any bets. No? No one? Ah, frick. You guys are lame. And he walks away.
And you guys asked me or didn't want me to dislocate his thumbs. Come on.
I lean over to Tali. It's just assuming she's next to me. the same.
Actually, you guys are on separate groups. So for
Damn it.
the drows, they kind of drags you to different groups.
Okay, I'm
for
leaning over.
Viking,
I'm
for
leaning over to
Viking,
Viking.
Suits, and Ravani, you guys are in the same group. Hamura, Tali, and Stool, Hamura, Tali, and Jimjar, you guys are in the same group. Stool, Runt, and the other guy you never know his name are in the other group. And the other guys, you notice that Sarith the Drow has never came out. He's always staying there. Just
Drow, the number 9, and
yeah, sorry. And the other guy seems to have paid no attention on him, just leaving him to rot. The other guy just are sent off to like different caves, different like stuff to work on. Yep, that will be it. And the drows are actually paying close attention on what you guys do. So the second you stop to chat or anything, he's gonna try to break you off. Yep. So that will be it. And yeah, you guys are in a separate group. Each with 2 drows like staring cautiously at you guys. What would you like to do?
oh,
He-
do we
he kind
feel
of
the
orders
magic?
you
As soon as we leave, do we feel like the magic field lift?
Yes. You don't feel any restraint on you. However, you are feeling more confined than ever because there are a huge swarm of drows that are just upon you.
I'm just gonna telepathically call out to Cora and just be like, if you know how to break people out of prison, would love your help.
You
Like a
think you
bear.
reached her? You are not really sure. The connection is unstable. But you do think you send off a clear message on crying for help. You definitely do. That is quite something. And
All right.
yeah, but you wait for a few seconds. You don't see her pop out of anywhere.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm basically just like describing the whole situation telepathically to her and be like,
Okay.
later, not now.
Okay.
Whenever you feel the connection sever
Okay. So
completely, just
yeah, the
go up.
drows had you guys do like really something really boring. He just for suits, your group actually are like delivering the water to their like just taking the bucket of water from the waterfall to the edge and dump it. That's what he asked you guys to do. Just he's not really asking you guys to do any chores for them. Instead, he's just having fun watching you guys do it. Yep. And
I'm literally hating every single potential moment of this
yeah,
because of the water.
yeah. And they intentionally splash some water on you just when you pass through. They're just like,
Rude.
look at this guy. Just yes. They
Mm.
are vicious creatures who took pleasure on other people's pain.
I'm gonna glance at them and just try and memorize their face as much as I can while I'm doing it.
Okay. So
While I'm doing
you
this
heard
task.
a few names being yelled along the way. Not really clear on most of them, but you do hear Balak and Soren. That's the two you guys remember that was shooting you guys in the first place. You notice that Soren is... Sorry, I'm going to write it down for you guys. Soren and Balak. They are two different names. Soren, S-O-R-N, and B-A-L-K, Balak. So, Balak is the guy who's been scolded, who missed you, Viking, in the first place. And Soren is his superior. Like, he's just yelling at him, just saying. This time, they're not yelling at each other. They're like fakely smiling as you guys walking past through and try to do like whatever they do to you guys. Yeah, I'll say that's probably most of you what you guys are doing. For Homura and Tali, you guys are delivering what you assume are dumps, like body waste.
Delightful.
Yes.
So,
Not
so
just the
what?
drows. They actually moves you guys towards the cell. And you see a bunch of like furry haired creatures just stuffed there, like stuffed animals. For those of you who, yeah, there are a dozen of them.
Mucking out the stables.
Yep. And you recognize as the same type as the one that tell you that's no use before. Yeah, the guy who you never asked his name. They are the same kind. However, these are more savage than him. These just looks plain savages. They don't have any ability to speak. They seem to be understanding simple orders from the drows, but they can't really speak. And as you guys are reaching in for the dump, they kind of growls and try to grab you. Yeah. Luckily, they miss because they're chained towards place. And the drows are scolding at them, so basically, it's fine. But it's not a pleasant experience. They stink like hell. That's about it. And as for the other group, you see them carrying something into the chamber. And then you heard, like, yelling in pain. Kind of like they're being tortured. You recognize the voice as the orc that were trying to, like, take the shackles from suits. Yep. About a few hours pass. Like, you estimated. The time measurement is weird and Underdark. About a few hours pass, you were sent back towards your cell. And, yeah, that's probably about it. You see a few dozen rooms on the other side, but, yeah. That's about it.
Was I able to sort of at least look around discreetly to?
Yes. For those of you who wish to examine the place,
Yes.
for those of you who wish to examine the place, you do notice a word they constantly tells about. It's Velknavelv. you assume that this is the name of this place, of this prison. And this straw outpost is located in a cavern, so built 100 feet above the rocky floor. The outpost consists of a series of small caves in the cavern walls and 4 hanging towers. That's the outpost you guys saw earlier. The towers are concealed by thick webs of giant spiders stretched below them, so that the only lowermost part of this, of this place, are visible from the cavern floor. With the small amount of dim light used on the outpost, so that's why Rivani can see in the dark, because there are dim lights. It's really faint, so they kind of try to intentionally trip you as you are doing your chores. There are assholes like that. One
What
month.
was it?
Sorry, go ahead.
What was it that I was doing again?
Sorry. What was the name you were saying?
What was it? What was it that I was doing again?
You were holding a bucket of water, like you were with.
Oh, like the water, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And they intentionally try to put their foots on you before you and try to trip you. So, yeah. Yeah, you fell down for a couple of times. They seem to enjoy themselves, and yeah, they sent you back. So yeah.
When I'm tossing water,
Mhm.
I want to take some of it
Okay.
if possible. Whether I soak it in my loincloth or
Okay, I will say you soak your clothes within it.
Okay.
Okay. And
I mean,
that
my
will
first
be-
soak, so you got that too.
And after the chores, they send you all back, and that will be the end of today's sessions. Awesome, guys. No one's getting killed. Yeah, or
Just
barbie
somewhere
parts
back
falling
and doing
off of their
nothing.
bodies.
the water I'm gonna sanctify and make into holy water as a material component for one of my spells.
Cool.
Smart thinking.
You still
Ooh.
need something to hold it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Jim Jar's skull.
Probably. That's one way to do
But
it.
I feel like that doesn't.
Yeah.
That's isn't that ironic?
That's one way to do it.
Putting holy water inside of a skull of someone you probably murdered and carved
Yeah.
it out.
Murdered.
Murdered. It's a strong word.
No,
Very strong word.
but no, I just looked. Bless is actually requires a sprinkling of holy water.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and it's something that a religious people can make, right?
Yeah, true.
Sanctifying it.
You could. It'll take you some time and some praying, but you could. Yeah.
We got lots of time.
All right. So for next session, yeah, you got plenty of time to plan your escape. I'm really glad no one really get past through the trials because. Well, you'll see about that. I shouldn't disclose too much. I shouldn't disclose too much. But anyway, good job, guys. No one's killed. No one lose their body parts. Yeah.
Can I go there for a
I
sec?
briefly considered throwing my character off the waterfall. I'd be like,
Nice.
well, my brand new character will come in eventually.
Yeah, there's always room for new characters.
My character would die.